SonarFeed is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Welcome to Sonar! Episode 229, Thumb Chunks.
You're the worst. Casey, you were supposed to finish that during the intro.
Oh, that was a chugging thing for the boot. My bad.
That's actually no. You don't actually have to do that. Don't.
Thank you.
I mean, you could. We would be super okay with it, but don't do it.
I'm not going to.
Okay. That was a very matter-of-fact response. Anyway,
Thank you
Good
so
to have
much.
you back,
Yeah,
dude.
absolutely.
Yes.
Everyone, thank you very much.
so we're here with episode 229. Are we actually calling it that?
Thumb
Yeah,
chunk.
Yes, it's
Thumb
called Thumb
Chunk.
Chunk.
You are
Can
the-
we give a brief
Salute.
explanation
Can
as
we
to
get a-
why?
Can we get a,
I will Bruined way too hard. No, I almost cut off a large chunk of my thumb at Mark's house yesterday.
It tasted great.
Pre-drinking.
Were you
Just for everyone's
Were you cooking?
heads up. I
Cooking
was,
fish?
yes, I was cutting potatoes
Potatoes.
and carrying on a conversation, and I decided to see how sharp the knife was.
And just to be clear, Tom had not started drinking yet.
That's right. Basically, everyone else had been drinking while making beer.
Always practice safe knife skills.
Yeah.
I would
Except
imagine
for
Mark
Tom.
has like really like cool knives too, right? Like things you ordered from a catalog.
Shout out to
Like
Global
very
Knives.
Yeah,
Sorry.
shout out to Global Knives.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have a chef.
They're his too.
They're
Not-
mine though.
They're not
Grams.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have a hole in my thumb. It's awesome.
R.I.P.
Thanks
cool.
for bleeding all over my bathroom.
No problem. I cleaned most of it up.
You did actually. You did
Yeah.
a good job. I appreciate that.
I did. I spent way too long in your bathroom yesterday, but that's a different discussion. So we'll come back to the top here.
Welcome to Sonar Feed.
What are we
So-
doing here?
Welcome to episode 229. I'm not even talking about what it's about, but we're going to welcome our special guest,
Yes. Yes.
Casey Catherwood.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you
hi,
for joining
Hugo.
us.
Oh,
Do I need to tell people who I am?
yes.
You could
Or
do that.
Tom
Okay.
will.
So this is your
One of those.
second.
This is my second
Your
time on
second
SonarFeed, but there's
appearance.
no way that someone watched all 259 of these episodes, 449 of these episodes.
229. But thanks for the
229.
credit.
Well, yeah, no, I can't imagine that there's one. Is there anybody in the world that's watched all 229 besides the people that have been on it?
No, the people
I
on
haven't
it
even
will
watched
Yeah,
certainly
I
come.
haven't even watched that.
When we don't come, we just no.
Thank you for having me back. This is my second time on SonarFeed, by far my favorite live video podcast show.
So last
From the
time you were here,
Burlington
you
Pub.
were doing some Tacoma Stars things.
Yes,
Yes.
I was working as director of marketing for the Tacoma Stars.
Boom.
And now you are.
Well, I've always worked for the Tacoma Rainiers in the role of like game presentation, marketing, creative work. And now, because of the partnership that has been forged, I am doing all of that for Seattle Sounders FC2, who will be playing in at Cheney Stadium in Tacoma starting in March. We're very excited. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to be excited about.
No question.
SonarFeed people and fellow panelists, let's get tintillated.
So we'll
No question.
we'll
Let's
get in
go.
there, but we'll quick go around the horn and just reintroduce Mark.
Hi.
Who are you?
He's off
I had no
camera,
idea.
but you recognize him.
SSFC Fody 13, the OG Fody.
OG
OG
Fody.
Fody.
And maybe there won't be any more Fodies. No one knows.
Is that a thing?
That'd be best
It
for
might be a
everyone.
thing. So
Really.
Could be a
he,
thing.
he won the. I don't know if you knew. He won the original Fan of the Year award
in 2013.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
now
And what did he do to get that? Just care. I mean,
spent a
spent
lot
a lot
of
of
money.
money.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time in the front office.
okay.
Also, money.
Money.
Yeah. Anyway, we should probably move on.
Anyway.
from that,
Okay.
too.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But why would they not do it anymore?
Things change. The world changes.
I
There's no match passes.
okay.
Well, but there wasn't a match pass for
Steve,
the
are
past
you
few
okay?
years, and they still did it
I think they're just making it up at this point. They're
because
just
Sounders
guessing.
Duff was the
They're guessing.
the Fody 17.
Yeah, I don't know who it's going to be this year. It's going to be someone totally random that none of us know.
Can it be someone we know, someone that we do know? Could we flip the script and just give it to Hugo?
I mean, we could. Can you even imagine?
Like right now.
Right now, we're just doing it.
It's
It's
Hugo.
official. How about we just do it at S2 Tacoma?
Yeah, the opening
could
match
just-
we give
Let's
Hugo
go.
Fan of the Year.
That would
Halftime.
actually be super funny.
Rather than a recognition of like past accomplishments, this is the expectation for this year.
Right.
You
Let's
have
go.
to.
Let's go.
We've called this for you, and you are now responsible for being the best fan.
Set the bar.
No pressure. No pressure.
We're so proud of you, Hugo.
So
Thank you,
proud
thank
of
you,
Hugo.
thank you.
to Mark's right,
I'm Dave Clark at Better Than.
what do you do again?
I write and edit and everything at Sounder at Heart, and then I also sell beer.
He
Cool.
slangs beer.
He does slang beer.
And our
Casey,
special guest?
We've sort of met.
Yeah, you already met me. My Twitter handle at Casey Catherwood, Instagram at Casey Catherwood, Facebook Casey Catherwood,
Come on. What do you got?
MySpace?
website CaseyCatherwood.com.
MySpace?
Snapchat?
It must be nice having a name that
Live Journal?
Just
other
let it
people
all
don't
spill
use.
out.
Like
Zenga?
There's not very many.
trying to find at Dave Clark.
At Dave Clark.
I follow at Dave Clark. I follow at David Clark.
All of those handles that
At D.
I just spoke upon, I have now changed it all to at Dave Clark,
What's your GitHub?
at Dave Clark 2.
And to my left,
Hugo Garcia, a.k.a. Maybe the Seattle, on Twitter, on Instagram, Maybe the Seattle, on Snapchat, Maybe the Seattle, on Tumblr, Maybe the Seattle. Soon to be, I don't have a Tumblr, never mind. But you got it.
Do you have a
got the
Medium?
idea. Maybe the
But it would be
Seattle.
awesome.
What
if
about
you did.
Medium?
and that's it for the show tonight, everybody.
Now you know our Twitter
Thank Casey. Thank you
social
for coming
handles.
down.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
So, we'll
To my right, or
So
your left.
So I'm Tom Biro, aka I don't know whatever Twitter handle I'm using this week. Sometimes it's Tom Biro. What do you have me on there?
Thumb
Bougie
chunks.
Hoolie?
At
No.
Thumb Chunks.
If you fucking register that, I'm beating the shit out of you after the show in the actual alley, like it's happening. And I'm throwing you in that puddle that Mark likes to go through at about 40 miles an hour.
It was only 30.
Anyway, so Casey, since you were last here, we've
Wait,
attempted to
And
create.
behind the mic, you can't
oh, is
see
that
him.
Adam?
I'm
He has
over
the mic,
here.
I forgot.
See, here's my hand.
Behind the camera, man.
At Weigel on Twitter. And in real life, too, actually.
You just
Hey, Weigel.
if you're in Tacoma
If you
and
just-
you just yell Weigel.
It won't work unless you yell at Weigel.
Oh,
You have to yell at Weigel, and then I'll hear
Hey,
it.
hey, Weigel.
Where's our wombat?
At Wombat.
Neat fact about our boy
Wombat.
Weigel is he witnessed
Thumb
the world
chucks
record of most
and thumb
competitive
crunch
chicken
are
wings
taken,
being
but
eaten at once.
Thumb Chunks is available.
Thumb Chunks is currently
Just so you guys
available
know
on Twitter if you act quickly.
I have so many spoof Twitter accounts. I don't have any email addresses left
Like
to
the
register
Nutmeg
them
News?
under.
It's time to register
don't.
Thumb
Yeah.
Chunks Hotmail, brother.
Do you have an actual
Do it.
Nutmeg News email?
Tom at Nutmeg.
Tom at Nutmeg
I
News.
hate you guys so much right now. Anyway,
I want to see
so
if they have
You were
registered
speaking
that.
about what has happened since the last
since
time
you
I was
were
on the
last
program.
here,
It doesn't seem
in
like much has
2016,
occurred.
We've attempted to create some organization.
Okay.
And there's some theoretical structure at the front where we do things like thank the Berliner for hosting us yet again.
Downtown Renton, third and
They regret it
Berliner.
right around now in the show, basically every single time. And then we've attempted to do a little bit of the week that was. So when we're having a show every week, talk a little bit about what happened up till the point that we walked in here tonight.
Literally nothing has happened. Today was the first practice.
Practice. We're talking about
Yes.
practice.
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 Talk about
Practice.
Did we lose the feed for a moment?
We didn't.
No, because Adam's a real producer.
I just missed my cue.
You missed your cue,
Tom, I have good news for you.
which is
The Nutmeg News people did not register Tom at the nutmegnews.com as an
So it's
official email
available.
address.
Boom.
I am set. What are you guys gonna do when I actually write for the Nutmeg News?
Feel like it's about time you
Stop
added yourself.
reading it.
Does everybody know what Nutmeg News is? Am I lost?
Oh my god.
It's like the Onion of MLS, basically.
okay.
Yes.
It covers MLS news the way the Onion.
And
would cover
there's
it.
So
they
it's-
know
so
a
it's
lot.
funny. It's not something that's it's,
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
And
But
they
it's
know a
somebody who's
pretty
inside.
fair amount in Seattle. They're in other markets too, but they definitely know a lot.
Okay.
In
Like-
Seattle,
Inside.
yeah, to the point where
Knowledge
it's like
stuff.
within hours of
like
things
they're a
happening.
mole. They're kind
Yeah.
of like a
They're
mole.
definitely
They're a funny
someone we
mole.
know.
It's
Okay.
Jake Reeder.
They're fan of the year.
No.
Who doesn't have a job?
Nice.
Probably.
Well, I think as of a few,
I still don't have a job.
he was unemployed for 69 hours. That's what I learned on the internet today.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
so the week that was, Casey's like, "What am I doing with my life right
Oh,
now?"
I'm happy to be here and to talk about what the week was. I mean, it was a great week.
So today was first practice, and by practice I mean Nico Ladero, I think, ran around on a field, and other people answered questions. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I can recap that actually because
Something like
I was ahead of time. The first team players were all inside, doing like lift in and that kind of stuff. Probably doing weigh-ins and just.
What about
nuts.
beep tests?
Not yet.
No.
I think they're going to do that down in Chula Vista
Nice.
this week. But one first team player decided that he needed to be outside and practicing, and that was Nico Ladero.
Nico!
With a bunch of teenagers, because everybody else that was outside was essentially S2 and Academy kids. So Ezreal Gonzalez, who signed his pro contract at like
16 last year?
15.9 years old.
Yeah.
Or I guess 16, because you have to be 16 for a pro. As soon as he turned 16, he signed a pro contract. He was out there. You know, Sam Rogers was out there. Nico Ladero.
Sam.
Like, not even the... I don't think Alex Roldan was even out there. So, like, it was really just S2 and Academy getting a run around.
What about Ray Sari?
I didn't see
Number
Sari, but they
88.
did announce that Ray Sari is on the S2 roster.
Well, he is one of the 10 players right now.
And not
Yeah.
enough to field an actual side.
No, but you know,
you can watch him
it's
at Cheney.
more.
That could be goalie.
It's more than the Sounders' first squad has had on the field at one time at Starfire.
Okay, sure, yeah.
At least one moment
Yeah.
during the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah.
Obafemi Martins.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So, yeah, there were a couple keeper trialists. There were a couple other trialists out there.
any trialists that we might know?
Most were from the academy. There's a USL dude who was playing for TFC2 last year that was there. Cal Brown, who was the third keeper for the Houston Dynamo last year, he was there. He's somebody who might be able to get a first team roster of the trialists that were out there. But mostly it was guys that were probably going to be looking for S2 spots
Nice.
outside. I mean, those two might be fringy, possible to get a first team deal.
So I want to talk about depth chart stuff in a minute.
Okay.
You had flagged some things earlier, but let's kind of cover through a couple things.
Yeah.
Last week we teed up the draft a little bit based on some feedback you had given us pre-show, but didn't get too into it. But really the one thing that's really important for us to all take away is that we have so many rolled-ons that they're going to have
question.
initials on their jerseys or something now. So it's
can dig it.
kind of obnoxious.
Could they just go to first names? Like,
I mean, they
just
could.
Christian and Alex.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm-
like, kind of cool, right? Just Alex.
MLS loves doing that, and by loves, I mean they hate it.
So that probably won't happen.
But it could.
Yeah.
He should just put CR7 at the top, just to piss off Madridistas. They'd be super angry about that.
In my headbutt somebody and take a selfie.
Nice.
Can I ask a question?
No
Yes.
question. I mean, yes.
Just one question. What is the likelihood that the young Roldan will spend much time with the first to make that a problem?
You know, that's a great question
this season.
that Dave
We're
Clark
gonna
wants
defer
to answer.
Dave on that
Come
one.
on, Dave.
It's going to be tough, actually, for either any of the three draft picks to make the roster because they only have 2 roster spots open for those kind of supplemental or reserve players.
Wouldn't that be 3 now?
No, I counted that move.
Okay.
So they had 1 going into today, but there came out news that Aaron Kovar is going to be on loan to LAFC, playing under Bob Bradley.
What?
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
the LA
genuinely
Times.
pissed off about this.
I think it is actually
I'm
good
leaving.
for him
It's
to
good for
get
him.
It is good for him.
a different voice,
Ah, man. So much
a
versatility.
different
in him,
environment,
though.
because
We're going to miss him.
he wasn't making the 18 even when they were really tight on players there at the end of the season, and he fell behind Henry Wingo, so it'll be a good opportunity for him. But that does open up a roster spot. So they do have 2 roster spots open for young kids, but those could go to a homegrown player, a drafted player, a young international, say another Nuhu or something like that. So for a draft pick to make the roster will be tough. It's going to be very competitive. They'll have to perform. and Alex Roldan said today that he sees himself as a better passer and somebody who likes to be forward more often than Christian.
Right.
And they have less need for that from a drafted player because you've got Victor Rodriguez and Jordan Morris and Clint Dempsey and Nico Ladero. You have Handwalla Buana.
I think it's Handwalla.
Hond.
Yeah.
You are correct. It's
Handwalla
H-O-N,
Buana.
yeah.
Can you say the
It's
name
Buana.
correctly just one time?
Handwalla Buana.
Handwalla Wana.
Boom.
And Mather, they have a lot of attacking mids, and so to earn that kind of time. So even if he made the first team roster, it's probably going to be a lot of S2 time. You can watch S2 at Cheney Stadium this year.
You can watch Sounders FC2 matches at Cheney Stadium starting in March 2018.
March 16th.
In Tacoma, Washington.
Home of the Rangers.
So what that means is we will not see
Pass the
Kovar
curve.
this season.
Nope.
Well, I mean, he'll
Unless he's
Well,
playing
see him
for-
on the opening
in
day.
LA,
Twice.
yeah.
Yeah.
opening day is against LAFC.
But you can't play, can you? I thought you couldn't play.
Oh, you're right. The 1 year
Yeah.
loan means that he won't be able to play against the Seattle Sounders.
Yeah. Because that was what we had with Zavaleta.
So that you can't
No,
play
Zavaleta wasn't.
Against
against your the loan.
Oh, with
wow.
He couldn't play with Chivas.
I
That was
know that.
before the formal agreement.
didn't
Now
know
it's
that.
in the rules.
Yeah,
so.
Did everybody know that? Did you know that?
I
That you
did not
couldn't
know
that. I
play
did not know
against a
that.
team that you. That's incredible. That's
The lender.
that adds a wrinkle into it.
Breaking news here on SonarFeed.
Yeah, you cannot play against the lender.
Cool.
I think it's kind of
I think it's
interesting.
cool, too,
Yeah, I think it's
actually,
kind of
dude. I was like-
interesting.
Makes sense. Like, I'll
Does that
let
mean
you,
I don't
but
have to make
can't
my
mess
card
me
payment?
up.
And that's
Right.
probably an MLS rule, so that doesn't mean
It's an MLS specific rule.
so
Other
it's not an
leagues,
open
you have
cup
to
or something,
negotiate
though,
it.
probably, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but he probably won't play in the Open Cup too. As you pointed out, Eric Zavaleta was before that rule was
Right.
in place, and the team still came to an agreement that they wouldn't play him against.
My final question for just a little while: how often do loans happen in MLS? Not as often as you'd see
Between
in,
two MLS teams?
Yeah,
Pretty rare.
seems kind of rare.
Probably less than 5 a year.
Okay.
Yeah, handful of season. Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you
Right,
any of
right.
them last year because they were guys that they weren't playing with their originating club,
Right.
and then they didn't play with their loan club either.
Right.
So yeah, Alex Roldan has his work cut out for him to turn a spot, but I'm certain that he is USL quality or better. So
He's
And
gonna
that would be a
balling
lot.
in
And that would be a
Tacoma.
lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun to. That would be another reason to be excited
Oh,
about.
yeah, for sure, man.
Cheney
Stadium.
matches.
I mean, you see him balling out.
His
out
brother
there.
will probably show up to watch him sometimes, and you can, see both of them in one place before you will probably at CenturyLink Field in the future.
it's weird. I actually had to look up to see which one was older and which one was younger because if Christian had stayed in school, this would have been his senior year. Like they're that close together Christian's this is his third year.
Third year, right?
Yeah, so but he would have finished up his senior year because it's in middle of so he would have been drafted this year if he didn't come out.
Damn, that's crazy.
Or was
So-
it last year?
We should probably.
It's college.
we
I
should
don't
probably
really
talk
understand.
a little bit more about S2 when we
We'll
get
talk
cracking a little bit with Casey. But
That's fine.
a couple other things. Torres,
Did you
maybe
just say Kraken?
Whoop,
extension.
to 2020.
Did.
Hopefully that gets done quick, man.
So that seems of interest
That's
to
so
people.
crazy, man. Especially considering how rough a start he had last year to get that finish, that strong finish, and get that extension. That's gonna be great.
that went quickly too because Nico Marino was tweeting about that, and then Torres was at the media day, which was down in L.A. Every team had at least one player there. Seattle had two, and Torres was like, "Yeah, we're working on it." So it's like, good job, Nico Marino. Man.
Yeah, man.
That's
He does great work,
Solid
man. I'm excited that he joined Sounder at Heart.
Yep.
I did all the radio shows with him all last couple of years, man, and he knows
He'll
his
still
stuff.
be doing the radio, I believe.
Yeah, no, not with
No?
not the same one. Yeah,
Oh.
We should have
Um,
Nico on again.
we should
been a
bring
while.
Nico. He's a cool cat, man, and he knows a lot of people in South America, and
Yeah.
he's able to get around and confirm stuff.
So that extension looks likely. The best part about it is because when you look at it, Torres is old for athlete old kind of thing.
All right.
So wrapping him to 2020 is a little bit long, but when you consider that he'll be at the World Cup, if he wasn't under contract for 2019 and goes to the World Cup, he's going to sign on a free somewhere.
Yep.
So this will give the Sounders some kind of power and flexibility to basically
Get something.
choose to either make money or keep him around depending on his quality of play.
That's dope, man. I'm excited. That's dope. And it's exciting, too, though, because he has a couple of really young center backs that will benefit from him. You know, Sam Rogers at S2 doing his thing. He was one of the most exciting players to watch all last season.
And
the drafted.
And the
number
Sounders now have 3 players that have played for Panama at various levels because Francisco Norbon is back, and he is both a senior and U20 Panamanian national team player. And Barrett, I believe it's Chris Barrett, the 3rd-round draft pick, is a Panamanian U17 and U20 World Cup player.
Wow.
So I guess they like Panama a little bit.
Panama's all right.
Might as well jump.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Wow.
place.
Might as well.
Good reference there.
Panama.
And then the only other transaction-y thing maybe to talk about is the rumor about the Colombian mid Roa.
Andres Roa.
Potentially something, or it's just a rumor and
I think
everyone
it's like
likes including
15%
Sounders in something.
chance.
15?
15% chance.
All right.
I think
What is the rumor? Just to lay it out.
Yeah,
there.
assume
What
that
is the rumor?
somebody that doesn't know what you're talking about.
Rumor is that he's Andres Felipe Roa, plays at Deportivo Cali, is apparently up, and there's access.
He's a free agent.
and everybody's kind of flirting with the
20
notion of him joining the
Yes.
Sounders.
24 attacking mid.
And our friend Nico Moreno, he's from Colombia, and I think that's actually his favorite team too. But he's mentioned that there's 2 teams that might be rumored to be in the negotiations to probably sign him, and it's Sounders, possibly Chicago,
Okay.
are in the running. But he would be a big get
He'd
if we
fill
get
a
I don't
need.
know that
He'd
he'd
fill
be
a
a big
need.
yet.
Oh, wouldn't
He'd be a get.
Let's look at it. Like, if you look at it statistically,
Drama.
let's just look at that because none of us have seen him play.
True.
Right? So let's look at the stats that he's put up in Colombia. Like, his first pro year, he had like 6 goals. In his second pro year, he had 5 goals. We're going to get to a trend here because his third pro year, he had 4. Last year, he had 2 and a single assist. So,
So we get him on the cheap then. It'd be a good get if we get him on the right deal.
to me, this is at 24 and as a 6-year pro, as a 24-year-old in South America, you kind of know what you're going to get at that point.
Gotcha.
You're not talking about a 24-year-old that played in college and has spent only 1 year under professional coaching. So it's interesting, but it's not like I wouldn't if they use targeted allocation money to get a player at that level, I would be rather surprised. To me, this is more like Miguel Montano, like old Miguel Montano or older Tomas.
Okay.
This is a
Gotcha.
This is more about if they get him, it'd be about taking a flyer, not about getting a developed talent.
Okay.
I tend to be down. I was down on Victor Rodriguez. Tell me how that
So
worked out.
would he be better than Victor?
I mean, it
or
worked out
not?
great. It worked out great until MLS Cup, at which time he was exposed.
He was exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
Chris Henderson once thanked me for lowering the expectations around Victor Rodriguez. It was Dave.
It was
You made me look so
we
good.
We were asked to renegotiate 7 times, and it made the conversation so much easier, Dave. Thank you.
So, I would put the Andres Roa thing at like 1%
Oh,
for Seattle.
1.
okay. I thought
But
15
like
was low enough.
99%, he's leaving Depot.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's happening for sure.
But probably not coming to the States.
No, I think MLS is definitely involved. There's some interesting mechanisms where the league can buy players at certain lower values, and then just be like, take him.
On
And
that note,
if the league was willing to pay a transfer fee, and then the Sounders got him, like if the transfer fee was $500,000 or something like that, but it came out of the league coffers, and then he was here at like 100, that'd be great, and they should do it.
do you want us to fix that microphone?
No,
for
it's
you?
fine. No, it's
You're just
no.
enjoying.
I
enjoying
told him he
yourself.
could use his hands.
It's a nice
but
sensation.
he can't use his hands because they
I
have.
didn't mean to be distracting. I'm sorry.
Sensation.
Forgive me.
There's basically nothing distracting on this
Okay,
show,
no, good.
so
Yeah, I'm
just do whatever.
I'm also right in the middle. I should have been on the side.
We're so the
I know that
the
feeling.
thing I'll say on the Kali rumor is we've definitely reached the point where it's like player in the world.
Oh my God, what?
Player
Somebody?
in the world is available.
We need somebody.
Sounders are interested. And like, I'm surprised they were like, I don't know what's holding up the Man U move for Alexis. Maybe the Sounders are getting interested. Like, it's just getting dumb at this point. Like, literally any player,
It has been-
especially Central South American players. They're like, attacking mid from Colombia, Sounders.
Let's go.
Like, okay. I mean, most of the time you're probably gonna be okay with
you
that
know-
player, but we don't need that.
It's totally because it's been such a quiet off season, right?
Is that good though? Is that might be
mean,
good to just keep
yes,
like
except
throwing
it-
little fish to
You know what?
hungry whales?
I think it takes away the opportunity to like steal players though, or get the under the radar guys that maybe would be like $1 million player that now all of a sudden they're like 2-3, and given the like budgets in MLS, it does make it probably a little harder because now like we all joke about Luis Suarez, but I don't know, Nico Ladero is actually having that conversation in
Right.
real life.
The
in
first time it
in
was
person.
like, oh, that's funny, Nico. And then
Yeah.
the second time it's like, dude, you keep doing it. And then like the third time it's like, what are you doing? And now it's like, okay, 4 different times you brought this up on your own. Oh,
Like we
you're
didn't
really
ask.
you're really
actually
trying to do
doing
this.
it. So
You're
that's
trying
going
to recruit an $80 million
if you wanted to bring in the
problem.
well,
if you wanted to bring in the
spend it.
most
you get your invoice for renewal the following season?
like there are a lot of players that people hate. That would be one of the most divisive signings that
but is he
the
still
Sounders
is
can
he
make.
still biting and,
No,
and scratching people?
He hasn't bitten anybody in,
in
maybe
4 years. 4 years.
And he hasn't made a racially charged statement that caused him to get suspended in
2.5, 3.
yeah.
So I mean, you can judge him for his past actions, sure,
Absolutely.
But there's a pattern.
But
of
he's
good
also, like,
behavior.
let's just be clear.
There's good behavior.
I
starting to brew
haven't
here.
been. I have not been to Liverpool, but I have been to Barcelona, and I will declare right now that the food is so much better than Liverpool's. It's
True.
not even
Very
funny.
true.
So that
So you're
probably
sleeping on the couch tonight, right?
maybe he's less hungry. He's got tapas all day.
Beth, if you're watching, Tom really does love Liverpool.
Pinchos are everywhere. It's fantastic.
But it's interesting because people are like, well, MLS is in retirement league, so that you wouldn't want him. And I'm like, we're not talking about
No, that's Liga MX.
the retirement of
Oh,
like we're
That
not
was such a weak
talking
burn.
Lampard or Gerrard here.
Fizzled.
We're talking a top 10 player in the world right
yeah,
now.
Yeah. Easy.
That would be really, really
So
fun.
Oh, my
you're-
God. Yeah.
But also, he's not
Oh my
moving
God.
before the World Cup.
Dude, I'm salivating just thinking about
but
it.
it's kind of like the
And
Yankees.
it would
Yankees
take like an
get
$80 million
Giancarlo
transfer fee.
Stanton, and you're like, at just at home, he's gonna hit 52 home runs at Yankee Stadium.
It would
It's
be
like
so much-
that kind of
like-
thing. You're like, what's he gonna score? 80?
Jordan, you have to be a midfielder now. Why?
Like, but seriously,
Well, 'cause
how
we
many
signed
goals
Suarez.
would
Yeah,
right now
right.
Suarez score for Sounders or for any team in MLS?
22.
25.
22.
Like, and not play second halves of games. He'd score 25 goals.
Oh, my
but-
God.
Well, that'd be really
Oh,
would be
dude,
really cool.
that'd be bananas.
It'd be like playing video games, but
Yeah.
in real life.
It is like playing video games. That's why you pick-
Also, Stanton on the Yankees is like video games.
It's dumb.
Pretty
It's
much.
just ridiculous.
It's pretty dumb. The only other last week thing was it's Akam, David Akam,
yeah.
to Philadelphia.
trade.
Like Philadelphia didn't get a keeper, which is super impressive. But as far as the East goes,
Their
like that's
sign
a,
every goal. Their
that's
sign
a-
every goalkeeper phase is over.
that's a legit move.
What happened?
For Philadelphia?
The Chicago Fire, their winger that scored like 18 goals or something like that, David Accam, who also had a horrible attitude and asked to leave multiple times. They traded him to Philly for like 1.5 million in various allocation monies.
So kind of like the Nagby trade.
Bigger
Bigger.
because he's a better player.
Wow.
Except
Or-
you actually care
He's
about
a play-
David Akam.
Yeah.
Sorry, if Steve Zakuani's listening, he's a player that is more likely to impact the scoreboard.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
You almost went into intangibles there.
Yeah.
But let's not do that.
Well, there-
So we're going to talk about S2 on the field a little bit. But
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about off the field S2.
Sure.
And
they're going to play in Tacoma.
get back to our guest who was nice enough to join us.
Yes.
tonight, Casey Catherwood.
But I'm enjoying all this. You know, thank you for talking about stuff I like too. But this is all good. You had to talk about the week, Tom. You had to talk about the week.
We did.
Gotta
How's that?
recap.
Don't you have a question?
I do, but we're gonna get to that later.
We have to wait.
We're gonna do augmented SonarFeed questions because Casey has answered some of them before.
Okay.
The hot seat
They
gets
checking
really
for-
hot.
we're
And when I
Oh,
say our
yeah.
questions have grown up, they have not
Are we?
grown up.
You
at
know, I was
all.
thinking on the way over here about tacos on a desert island, and I was like, it's still,
no.
it's still shrimp.
That's
Hugo.
like if
it's still
Dude,
shrimp.
I had
That-
the most
that is
amazing
like,
shrimp
so
taco
good.
Sunday. The best shrimp taco I've ever had. No joke. The best shrimp taco
laugh
I've ever
track.
had.
Tell me where.
I will. I'm putting it on my blog. I'll tell you, but not off
Put
air
it
'cause
on
I wanna
that
put it
Tumblr
the
that
blog.
doesn't exist.
that is like a in that what is it inside the actor's studio? That is a inside the actor's studio level question compared to the questions that we're going to go into.
Okay, awesome. Let's
We're talking
go.
about S2?
Yes.
Not yet.
We'll talk about
Yes.
whatever you want to
Let's
talk
talk about us
Tom.
too.
Okay.
I figured
Dave,
we'd
Tom,
merge
Hugo.
the Casey and S2 conversations.
Adam.
Well, I've got to. I need to confirm something. One of the sidelines is going to be along the third base line, right?
Along the third base line, correct.
Which means if you're in those
That'd be
stands
the
right there,
touchline.
you're looking across the field, and behind the field, you're going to have the first base stands, and above that, this beautiful mountain.
True.
Because
Yes.
every time I go to Cheney Stadium to watch the Rainiers, I'm out left field.
You're captivated by the mountain.
What's that mountain called?
Because you look right past the pitcher's mound, which
call
won't
it beauty.
exist because
Right.
you guys renovated the stadium.
It's been removed.
There is a
essentially right
removable
now. Yes.
pitcher's mound now.
What?
It is a
Shit
fully
got
It
real.
is a fully detachable and movable pitcher's mound that goes in and out.
Detachable mound.
You
Insert that into lyrics.
did that for the bases as
Isn't
well.
there a
to-
song that's like that?
Bases
There
are
is.
quite a bit
Bases are
easier.
very-
Bases are quite a bit easier.
Yeah. And so, but what's really cool is you can look past basically like 50% of the field when you're at the game and Mount Rainier.
Dude, that's
Right
the best
there.
view
It's a
in
nice view.
USL.
Right in the shadow of
Yeah.
Mount Rainier.
That's one of my
Oh, dude.
favorite things about Cheney Stadium. That and the modern frontage that got redone about 4 years? 5 years?
2011, I want to say.
God
Damn,
time
that's
flies.
Time is getting away
7
from us.
years.
Yeah,
dude.
so-
that's crazy.
Seize the day, SonarFeed listeners.
Yes.
Seize the day.
Heard it here
So
first.
they've done a lot to get the field ready to host soccer because the test game that was there.
Become a soccer pitch and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
So what you're
And
saying
back and
is,
forth.
so what you're saying is, everyone at the Rainiers will be getting a job with NYCFC by the end of the season.
Not me.
Anyway, so you've got a detachable mound.
so
Yes.
cool.
In and out and in and out.
Mark is
and
4.
In and out.
Mark is 4. You are also 4, apparently.
Fourth, what? Would you prefer a non-detachable pitcher's mound?
No, I already shared that with
You're like,
Adam,
I
and
know,
he said
okay,
no.
these young up and coming soccer stars. You just have to get used to that little part of the field that you have to roll the ball up and over. Just be careful. Please don't slide tackle on it. No, it's flat. It's going to be flat.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's a pretty awesome
What song you
thing.
got over there? Do you want to put it up to a mic?
He's got it up to the mic.
He's playing
I mean,
the
if you
song.
want a
Okay,
copyright
yeah.
violation, yeah.
Sure,
Question,
yes.
question from the audience.
Can you introduce yourself?
There it is.
Nice to meet you.
Mexiquino in the
Max-
house.
Max
Corporate
is off
overlord
the-
you can trust.
Left field.
Okay. Max Kino.
Yeah, I played pitcher in college, so I'm actually really interested. How long is it going to take you guys? I'm assuming you guys have a
Yes.
good process that's going to make any professional baseball player happy. So how long is the process going to be to remove the mound each time?
So the process to remove the mound is not extremely, it doesn't take a long time from what I've gathered. But the whole field conversion to do it right is going to take 2 days to set up and then 1 day to break down. So they the USL had to work that schedule around the Cheney Stadium baseball schedule. Kind of like Jenga, kind of like what is another type of
Tetris.
game where you have what's the one with the little hands and the
Operation?
doctor? Operation.
Boom.
It's kind of like Operation. You don't want to buzz. You don't
You're
wanna
the
take out his
doctor
wishbone,
collecting
stuff
all your
like-
pay.
It was a lot like that. So I think that the mechanics of it, it's a concrete sort of just thing that they lift up and roll out.
Interesting.
And so, but like I said, it's like a 3 day. So if we have a Rainiers game on a Friday night, there can't be a there can't be a Sounders 2 match that Saturday, which is
It's why there's lots of Wednesday home
there are
games.
well, okay, but I've heard some people say that there are so many Wednesday home games, but there were still quite a few weekday games at Starfire in seasons past. If you want to talk about the amount of Wednesday games has gone up, if it's gone up, it's not as significant as constantly sending tweets to S2.
One of the
Well, yeah, because my phone is getting them, and I'm like, come on, I don't. We're trying our best.
You know, you can turn those alerts off.
But then
Yes.
you'd be less responsive, and that is not the way of casing.
Sharing. Just saying.
But thank you for your question. Did that satisfy? Was that a satisfying answer? You know what is going to be a really fun thing about this? And am I shouting? Sorry, I'm excited.
No, it's good.
A fun thing that we're
problem.
going to want to showcase in this whole this whole sort of scenario is that we will be posting videos of this process, and we'll be kind of being transparent and showcasing how cool it is, because Cheney Stadium's got an amazing grounds crew who are being given by Sounders and Rainiers the tools that they need to make this first class, and it will be interesting to watch and document, so you'll see.
Speaking
follow along on
I have an
social media
ignorant
and
question.
in-game. Yes, please.
Do they dance at the 7th inning stretch?
No.
No.
They have their
Okay.
own
Their own thing.
appeal.
Right.
Okay. I was just curious. I'm remiss.
No, I think some grounds crews dance and some ground crews, just grounds crew.
They
Grounds crew.
crew the ground.
Yeah, they crew the
I
ground.
have also an ignorant question.
Is there another question?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you introduce yourself?
Nate from
Sure.
Tacoma. Oh, hold on. I thought it was
Wait,
I
I
don't
don't think.
That doesn't look
That is
like
not-
Nate
that
from
is-
Tacoma.
from Tacoma. That's
Tim with the question.
All I can.
My question is, if this goes off without a hitch,
If this goes off without a hitch,
pretty successful.
it's pretty successful.
Be a permanent.
Is this going to be a permanent thing for S2?
For S2 to just stay in Cheney Stadium?
Yes, sir.
I don't think so. I think the main.
The city
pointing at something?
council
Did I do something
and
wrong?
I
the
have
city council
an article from the
and the
Tacoma
Parks
News
Department.
Tribune
Yeah.
that states the Tacoma City Council approves a resolution in support of a new soccer stadium.
Yes, so
That was just for a couple weeks
no
ago.
matter how successful this thing is at Cheney Stadium, we will be hoping to move forward, and everything is looking good. It's looking good. That we will be making our own very large soccer-specific stadium that will be a resource to the city, and also home to
and
a
can
Tacoma.
share the
a
it would
Tacoma
share the
team.
parking facilities
Yes.
out
I was
but it
gonna
would be
say-
past the outfield.
I was going to say
basically.
hashtag
Yes.
Team Furcrest.
Okay.
No, I don't think the team will play in
Stop.
Furcrest.
So, at some
Although
point,
Furcrest
why
is
don't-
awesome, just watch your speeds when you go through there, because you will get pulled over.
Literally go
every
25.
every single time. What is a movie where it's like Pleasant? Is it Pleasantville or
Yes.
like meets Stepford Wives meets the show Cops, and that is Furcrest. Please watch your speeds, people.
So,
Please.
do you know what you're gonna bury under the mound when you put the mound back in permanently?
Good luck charms. Lucky charms.
I think you just
Referee's
nailed
notebook.
it. Hugo and I will be eating cereal out of the mound. Oh, you were thinking like Good Luck Charms, like
Oh, no.
like-
At first I thought
Lucky
good
like
luck
rabbit
charms.
feet.
But
We're gonna
actually,
bury Lucky
Lucky
Charms
Charms
under
is good.
Or a Tacoma gangster
We're
of
gonna
some
line
S2
it
kind.
with
crest.
plastic and eat cereal out of it, and that's the only answer I have. No, I don't know specifically what the. I think it will be a lot of grass, a lot of,
Yeah.
and I think that there will be parts of the field where it will be. They will need more attention than others for sure, right? Like
Right.
And I will be curious to see how it all looks. I do not work for the grounds crew. I work with our I work with our grounds crew. We're on the same team, and I'm very confident that they're going to make it awesome. Nice. Because the main thing is that it's a great experience for fans and how it looks. But if players are unsatisfied, I know our Rainier's manager very well, and he will be the first person to express his dissatisfaction with it.
Or
if
the
it's not,
pitchers.
absolutely perfect for Rainier's baseball, and I would expect the is it coach or manager of the Sounders?
Yes.
Max.
Manager.
Technically,
Never mind.
it's manager.
I don't
People
know
never
him
mind.
well, but I look forward to meeting him, and I know that he also won't be happy if it's not
Right.
completely
Needs to be
awesome.
perfect.
Yeah, it's got to be perfect, and it will be.
I've got a question real quick.
Sure.
Also,
Yeah.
finicky pitchers.
Adam,
Will,
off
um,
the
like,
camera.
they'll be-
Our producer
they'll
has a
complain,
question.
no matter what.
Will Red Hot be open inside the stadium
The stadium red hot.
during
hot question.
matches?
Hot question.
As far as I know, absolutely yes.
Good that I'm going to be there.
Yeah, yes.
Do they have a Sonora style dog?
Tell Sonora
What is
style.
the Sonora style?
What?
I haven't had Sonora. I've never
Explain.
been down there. Is it?
Explain.
Okay, so Sonora
Are we
style
talking
is
northern Mexico?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's also popular in Arizona and parts of Southern California.
What's
but,
on it? 'Cause they might.
They
They might just call it something different.
Yeah, it's its own thing, man. It's got a little bit of pico, bacon wrap.
Nope.
It got jalapeno.
No,
it's
Red
got-
Hot doesn't put bacon on hot dogs.
They do
No,
have.
dude.
They
No, I'm
do
just
have
kidding.
some.
Yeah.
Like,
Here,
if you've
I'll
been to
bacon-
Red Hot,
bacon-
the
I'll
bacon
tweet it out. I'll tweet it out.
Yeah, well, let's tweet out this recipe
Yeah.
and tweet it at.
You should
Katie's
probably
Favorite
ask Red Hot.
and just at them.
This reminds me. We need to do
I think-
another. We need to do another Wacky Worst Wednesday.
What?
Wacky Worst Wednesday.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
used to do a little road trip down
Come
to
down.
Red Hot.
Come down to
Freaky
Red
hot
Hot.
dogs?
Visit.
Well,
Instead
if
of
you
a
ever
Sonora,
want, if
it'll
you
be
ever want to do that,
S2.
I have myself
You
and
know
a few
people.
friends that would like to
Yeah,
come.
we need
You know
to do
people in
that.
Tacoma?
Yes. Yes.
We need to reinstitute that.
Yes, we do. Since
Wacky
Jake
Worst
left.
Wednesday.
Sorry, Jake. Yeah, this is Jake's fault.
So,
See ya, Jake.
All right.
We're gonna come
more
back
S2
to the
focus?
top.
Back to the show.
I'm going to come back for a second. So, since you were last year, you introduced at the top that you had been doing things for Rainiers before, obviously.
Right.
But you've transitioned into an S2 Tacoma, whatever we're calling. Hey, it's Mike's favorite team, the Kraken. There you go.
Kraken
Yeah.
FC. That's a favorite out there. Yes.
So, can you
I have my own ideas.
Which we should go over.
what do you think are going to be the fun challenges for you in this job that are different from what you were
question.
doing with the Stars?
Absolutely. Oh, with the Stars.
Yeah.
Or
Specifically.
and Rainiers.
Baseball,
Like,
baseball to soccer, absolutely, but Stars as well.
I think the main thing that I'm putting this out to the show too, because I hope people that are listening to this show are passionate Sounder supporters and will find the value in supporting the second team. I think that there's a lot of excitement around, and this is I think the first time in a while that the Sounders too have a returning roster with faces and talent that people will know because of last season, and there's some turnover, which is great. You want to build that core. And I think the main challenge and the thing I'm most excited about is fostering an awesome supporter culture in Tacoma and giving and kind of riding that tightrope of giving these supporters and fans what they need and then kind of getting out of the way, right? And I think that is something that is not always easy for any soccer team. Like they want to get involved, but they shouldn't get involved. And so I'm trying to get in conversation with the right people right out the gates and just say, hey, what do you guys need to do TIFO? What do you guys need for storage? What do you guys need as far as early entry? What does the section look like to you?
You're like
Blah, blah, blah.
mainlining the crack right into Tom's veins.
Can we
right
get
now.
flare
But then just-
delivery right to the section? Flare delivery.
Speaking of, have you talked to the city and the
So,
stadium about the use of
the-
smoke
the-
and or other
The
pyrotechnics?
stadium, we are completely fine with it. And
Oh,
so that is
you heard it here
something
first.
that is
Boom.
really that would be
First.
really
Derek-
exciting.
Oh snap!
Derek just bought a parking pass.
Oh snap! You heard it here first.
So what you're saying is that
There is a
Snap.
he's being specific now.
there's a great chance that smoke will be allowed at S2 matches, and I know that that's something that's not allowed at CenturyLink Field, which
Fire marshals.
Fine.
yeah, and we have a great relationship with our fire marshals, and we're gonna do everything we can to make it happen. But as far as Cheney Stadium, we can support it.
Local supporter
It's
groups
gotta, but again, that's
should
got to be
work
done right, right?
with
It's
the
gotta be done
Rainiers,
right? Yes.
who in the stadium and the fire and the city and everybody, because that takes a lot of everywhere in the United States where it happens, it takes a shit ton of negotiation,
Right, and designated people that are representatives of the supporters group and all of that. And so
there are ways to make it work.
I'm here talking to people like you
Yeah.
and people like you and you and you and all of you and saying, let me know what you need. Let me know how we can make this awesome, and I will do every single thing I can to
Center
to
field
do that.
wall on fire. No, I'm.
I do think that there need to be things on fire for sure. I
We
mean,
were
that's-
told that we needed a train to come by at specific points during the game.
like
So,
look,
so we
the
could
choo-choo.
sing
on what track, Tom?
exactly.
On what
So you'll
track?
need to
I have
build
a
the
client.
high-speed
One of
rail.
my
Speakers in stereo.
who
one of my clients is Metro Parks Tacoma, and I'm just gonna ask them. I'm gonna be like, can you guys just
make a
get
train,
a train?
but only for effect of like.
yeah.
It's going to be an HO.
Can we just play the sound?
It will be the Link light rail.
2039.
Yeah.
That's
And
that's
that-
a pretty
even that's
awesome
a
little thing.
stretch.
Yeah.
Tom will be
Yeah,
60.
2039.
Tom literally will be 60.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of a cool
Tom's
thing. That's a
younger
cool,
than me.
promising element of this whole thing.
Did
is
you
that
talk to Larry today?
I did talk to Larry today. Larry Herrera. He didn't.
Yes.
He didn't mention smoke once.
You just, I mean, one of the
Larry,
things that's important if you
can't
don't
fire
know who
us.
Casey Catherwood is
Fire
Casey
us.
Catherwood
Wow.
is a local sports fan, basically.
I definitely am a local
Like-
sports fan through and through.
Yes, you work for the Rainiers and you've worked for the Stars, but you understand the soccer community. You're in there amongst us. You see what we care about. You follow along, and as the marketing guy,
I just want it to be awesome, and I don't. And I guess another thing I was, and I don't want to expose conversations that I've had in the past with other people, but I'll say it to you and all of you. Is
no
like,
one's listening.
Okay, very good.
Just
Is like I sit as someone who loves sports, and I do work in sports, and that's great and fine. But I work in sports for a lot of reasons, and I guess what I would say is when I think about the conversations that I'm trying to have with supporters, I just try and switch the role, and I think what would I want to hear from me if I were someone like Larry Herrera or you. And I'm just saying those things, and I genuinely mean them, but I'm saying those things like, just let me know what we can do to make this thing awesome in Tacoma, and we will bust our butts to do it, and then get out of the way.
Red Hot hot dog delivery service.
Mark wants Africa by Toto during water breaks.
Can I ask a question, and I'm maybe poll the audience here? So
This is the worst thing that you're gonna do. Oh, no.
no, poll the audience. Okay, so
Do it.
I have a question. So one of my favorite things in all of sports, probably, and sports fans, is at Liverpool how the fans sing when at the beginning they say, "You'll never walk
Liverpool?
alone." Liverpool FC,
Dude,
the soccer team.
Yes,
Sorry,
they
Beth.
do.
They
Yes,
sing
they
that.
do, yes.
Is that a thing that could happen at Tacoma soccer games?
You just have to write your own song, Casey.
Wait,
But
that
you
they'll sing?
like
Yeah,
we
oh,
would
yeah.
sing a song, like a big song.
That
like a
is
song
the
would
whole
be
stadium
done.
definitely
together.
going to happen.
But what is the song? Like
Africa by Toto.
Africa by Toto.
Because nothing makes you think
I
of
just
Tacoma
fucked
like
up,
Africa
probably.
by Toto.
How-
Larry, by the way, is in the chat.
And he's like, it
Hello,
was at
Larry.
the heat of the moment. He said, ask for anything, and I panicked.
Uh,
Like there were a couple songs on the playlist that we get, like even the teeny tiny group at Starfire. Everyone
Question from the audience.
yeah. There were people listening online.
Despacito.
No.
Detachable
And
units
how did that happen?
by King Missile.
Muted.
Somebody from the live studio audience mentioned
How
that
do things like that happen though? It's so organic, and I know that, and I know it's years and years and years and years, and like your family did it, and your dad, and you know, like your dad will talk to you about
deal
his
with
Liverpool
organic, so,
football and stuff like that. But like,
Mom
how,
sells vegetables for a living, so just go with it.
And fruit.
I'm just posing that question, and call me ignorant. Tweet me, email me.
Other people will get into it.
Okay.
It-
Right.
So the train.
Well, I
at
thought that's because my
S2,
ex-wife was there.
Right. So there's Duwamish Sown that we were doing in general for Sounders 1 at both Starfire and CenturyLink. And there was an alt version that was penned kind of on the fly. And Heather, who is the other ECS co-president, was like, oh, look, choo-choo, because there's the train that goes
Right,
by at
right.
Starfire all the
I
time.
think I've seen that two-pole, right?
yeah.
There's a two-pole.
Yes.
To the point where
Yes.
it became no matter what you were doing, if the train went by
end whatever song it is and just go straight into that
The
song.
choo-choo line.
But,
But I
like,
think
this
Casey's
is pre
thing-
pre
I think
pre game.
Casey's question is
match during the
It's
game.
just-
But I think Casey's
Play-
question is
play
more
music
how do we
during the
get
match. No,
how
the fans would just.
Casey's question is more how do we get that out of ECS and into the rest of the stadium?
Well, I think in that
That's-
environment,
'cause
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think in
That's
that
the
environment,
question.
frankly, especially with the way that the stadium is laid out,
Right.
where there's people on the first base line and the third base line. The distance from A to B is different than you're going to see at a place like Starfire. So the ability for things to move, like the wave, love it or hate it, is just
Love
different.
It's
left to
basically
right.
a giant L.
Yeah,
Started in
think of it like an
Stadium
L.
C, Washington.
Let's
I
call
think,
it a V. Call
I
it a
think people are
V.
going to hear things that they like or don't, and things will catch on or not.
Right.
And I think, I don't know what songs the Capos are going to call for. You're going to have a lot of the same people that do things at Starfire now or at CenturyLink. So your calls and responses and things like that are going to happen. And at the end of the day, like, minor league stadiums are pretty noisy when done well, in my experience, having gone to 20, 30 of them across
that's
the country.
amazing.
No, the StubHub
So,
Center has never been that loud.
well, yeah, that's
Irrelevant.
single A. Single A. So, double, triple A, though, a lot better. Anyway,
Have you ever been to Chicago
I
Fire
think
Stadium?
some of it is just a little bit of trial. I mean, there's a little bit
Be
of trial
sweet.
and error to it.
Be sweet over there.
I think people are going to try things that works, and as new players come, or as traditions come, or as people see certain, sometimes it is you're playing your first game. The first goal scored for S2. It's the Andy Craven,
99
and it was
balloons.
99 Luff balloons in minutes.
Because
was
you wore number
99 for Sounders 2.
Yep.
Andy Craven, We Sing For You. That's the stuff that happens. And sometimes it's player driven, and sometimes it's just environment driven, or the sunset, or the mountain,
I
or
think it's just fan driven. Like
Yeah,
you
like
mentioned,
Pony.
when the songs play, sometimes
Pony.
randomly a bunch of fans will start singing that song.
no, no
think
one
a
is
lot of it
singing
is-
Pony.
By Genuine?
It would
I saw Genuine at the Kingdom in 1996.
That must have been a badass concert.
That was awesome. I mean, I was
Larry is
so young and I
declaring-
didn't understand any
Larry's
of it.
declaring, "Take me out to the ball game in the 70th."
in
In the 70th?
70th
I
minute.
have to tell you, we did that at Yankee Stadium for the first NYCFC match in the
That's
May, their
genius.
first year, and it was 3-0, I think, and we did 3 goals, and you're out, and they were so angry that I was waiting for things to just be hurled at us from all directions.
They only
It
throw
was
stuff
so
at
good.
So I
players.
think what you'll need to do, Casey, is just start digging through all of the Tacoma. Yeah.
I just do something real quick. Finish what you're saying.
Digging through all of the Tacoma artists, the famous musicians that have come out of the great city of Tacoma,
Sonics. Sir
and
Mix-a-Lot.
and
Auburn.
and pick a song
Yeah, because I know
and maybe see if you could just seed it into the subconscious.
there was a song that Dave
that's-
mentioned
When do
it.
those songs play though? When would the songs play in the
Well,
stadium?
I mean,
Well, they don't-
You Never Walk Alone was Gary and the Pacemakers,
Right.
which were from Liverpool.
Right.
So that's
there you go.
right.
Yes.
That's
It just
how
happens.
it just
Yeah.
happens.
Right.
It's not something you can force.
It genuinely just happens.
It does.
Yeah, I think
What
Dave-
you should know is there
You
are
have to seed it
people-
into the
There are
subconscious.
people right now, literally, probably in this chat, sitting there going, "What song would we sing at the beginning?"
Yeah, that's awesome. Keep doing that,
Yeah.
please.
And that's gonna
And just let me.
Panama.
And then, I guess where it boils down to, and maybe where this sort of segment ends, is please do that. I support you. I love you. Let me know how I can help.
Mom's
and anyway,
spaghetti.
I work at Cheney Stadium. I sit next to the president of our team, and I talk to him all the time. I want to help
One of the
facilitate and make it a great
easiest ways
relationship.
to help early on is to kill whatever in-stadium noise is being piped in, to just let the crowd be, when they're singing.
Well, you gotta shush
And what's
reverb.
interesting is you do that early, and then one of the things that got Boom Boom Clap or the call and repeat to amplify was not playing the sound, but just the visual is up on the boards in CenturyLink. So it starts organically, and then the organization amplifies that that organic. That's how at CenturyLink Field we can have, when it's full, 69,000 people doing the call and repeat at the same time, because it's not because you're
Nice.
you're hearing where it starts, and then the stadium awareness is like, let's build it.
Oh, I've been there. I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
So it
And it's
starts
contagious, right?
organically,
It's
and then
Yeah.
the organization can amplify that organic thing. But if it starts within the organization,
Bad news.
it gets that
bad
aspartame
news.
taste.
Yeah. Can I show you?
Yeah,
speaking
let's
of
do this right now.
Speaking of a good taste, the boot is starting to swill its own little bubbling cauldron.
Cauldron.
Did you hear the bubbles?
Yeah.
This is so good.
Be quiet. One more time. All right, we got
What
it.
you're here for.
You're welcome.
That's why
You're
I'm.
welcome.
That's why I'm here.
Yours-
I was gonna start the Casey's backwash chant, but I just figured I would let that go.
Well, you're supposed to hear just the bubbles is a good
It was
chant.
good. I'm pretty sure Adam got it.
That's what we call happy accidents.
So we're gonna start singing Bubbles.
We are
Tiny
not.
Bubbles.
Tiny Bubbles.
The West Ham song.
Yeah.
Don Ho.
Yeah.
I'm all good for that. Chicharito plays there. Not for long, but I'm all good for that.
You were so excited the other day when we were joking about Chicharito.
I got heated.
Love
Could
Chicharito.
you do Tiny Bubbles, but in Spanish?
Next show
Rehearse. If you
Yeah,
open the
next
show with Tiny Bubbles next week,
in Spanish.
everyone wins.
Please.
No question.
Did you have another prepared question?
It's really hard to bridge from Tiny Bubbles in Spanish. I'm unsure where to go right now. That was a good,
That was
87-minute
can
answer
I, can
by
I,
us.
Can I last time I was on the show, I brought presents for the group. And is this a good time for me to give my presents again?
I mean,
Old Santa
sure.
Casey?
We already have your presents.
No.
Oh!
Shut up. Shut.
Throwing bone wings
Okay.
at
See,
you.
Mike, he does talk on
Yeah.
on the show.
Thanks.
Last time I was here, I brought books for the whole group because
Yeah.
I think that reading is important. I was told who was going to be here, and Mark was not included in the list, so Mark didn't get a book. But Mark's not even on the screen. And I have such a great book for you.
That's true.
I have such a
If
great
you
book
know
for
anything about Wazoo, you are super okay
Let
with
me-
Mark not having a book.
He's got to have a book sometime.
How does?
Well,
So
he
this-
has
this-
them.
This book's is sort of like a classics edition. Tom, I had never met you before, but I knew that you are a special man who has high hopes and dreams. And so I brought you a copy of Adam Grant's Originals, How Nonconformists Move the World. Terrific book. I signed all of the books.
Excellent.
That's for Tom. That's for Tom. That's a really powerful read, and I think that you'll get a lot out of it.
Me and the 594 are going to be really good friends with this book
Love that.
for the rest of the week. Thank you.
Nonconformists change the world, and I believe that.
That's what's up.
Have you met me?
Thank
I'm
you.
not exactly normal. Save that one.
I'm going to start now.
For Adam, I brought The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. I think this is a wonder. Has anybody read this? It's so powerful. It's like it's kind of really sad, but I know Adam will love it. Have you read it, Adam? I was kind of worried that people would have maybe read these. Have you read this?
Don't know how to read.
Okay.
I saw him reaching for the microphone, and I thought he was going to.
Adam, did you go to Wazoo too?
No, but I dropped out of more schools than anybody here attended.
Challenge.
Even Rutgers?
Another book that I absolutely love, and I bet Hugo has read this, but for my Justice Warrior over here, I brought The House on Mango Street. Have you read that?
I
Classic.
have not, but I got it for my niece.
It's a classic.
sitting on
You
my
have to read
bookcase
it.
right now.
And, I signed
I'm waiting for her
that
to get old
you.
enough to be able to read it. I think she's 9 now, so I think it's okay for her to read it.
I wrote
now.
a little message for you in there. You don't have to look at it now, but.
Oh, I'm looking at it. Oh, it's
and then
going down.
for our creative writer over here, Dave Clark, and you have to have read this, but maybe you haven't. Kurt Vonnegut
Dude,
Jr.
that's class.
Breakfast of Champions.
That's class.
Probably the most
That's
creative,
class
wonderful
right there.
book I've ever read. Does anybody like Kurt
Dude,
Vonnegut here?
he nailed it.
Never read a Vonnegut.
You have to start with this one. It's perfect. Breakfast of Champions for Dave. And then I'm so sorry, Mark, I had the perfect book for you at home. I have this old piece of paper. Let's make sure there's nothing.
Some
confidential
notes.
on
Let's
here.
do a live reading.
Do a live reading, Mark.
This is actually just a checklist of things that I need to work on for
You might need it.
for S2. You can't have this.
Still needs it.
Oh my
So
god.
yeah,
That's awesome.
go.
Thank you.
Dude,
Absolutely.
that is
Seriously.
badass. Like that
next
is badass.
time,
That's
next time
class.
it can be.
That's a class
I'm bringing
book
you
right there,
some kinky stuff.
No,
next
the,
time.
why we poop?
So
My
next
freaky
week,
friend on
Casey
the
will be
end.
back.
My freaky friend on the end.
The 0 guests currently watching are like, man, I gotta step it up now.
actually have one of the highest viewerships we've had in a
Oh,
while.
we should start talking about
20
politics
people.
then.
This is really
Let's go.
impressive that you found not only like books that were appropriate, because I know at the hour that you said, yeah, I can come on, that he knows all of us well enough to find something appropriate
Yeah.
to each of us.
It's
in
class.
Well, I got love for SonarFeed.
A
So
couple
I hope you guys
hours,
enjoy those
basically.
No
books.
question.
Absolutely.
That's super.
Cheers.
It is. Man.
Where did you get
That's
them?
awesome.
Yeah, man.
Did you go to King's?
They were all on my bookshelf. Every one of these books.
Even better. Even
Cheers.
That's
even better.
Mark, that's a great beer. Don't die.
I'm gonna cheers.
Mark and I hear it every single time, and it's
I love
hilarious.
that bubble sound. It's amazing.
By the way, the Berliner Pub, they're in Maine, downtown Renton.
It's ahead of the curve.
The
Ahead of the
greatest
curve.
soccer pub
They have
in
1
town.
liter, 2 liter, and 5 liter boots available.
We've done the 5 liter, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Not on the show. I
The
hope.
5 liter
on
is
the
a
show.
group event.
It has
Yeah.
definitely been on the show.
No question.
I don't know if that's
I
good or bad.
I missed that day.
That actually was probably our best
I
bar
think it's
tab.
amazing.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the new SonarFeed questions.
The new SonarFeed questions?
The ones that the
Oh, the ones we were talking
yes
about earlier?
Yes, it's time.
Wait.
Is there another?
Dave has other things he wants
Dave
to
has
talk
other things.
No,
We got a question.
I lost the show sheet.
You
Never
got that
mind.
question that's in
Slack.
That's in Slack.
Yes. So actually, yeah, there's a question that came in through Twitter. The question is, will the players be as accessible after the matches as they
Ooh,
currently
good
are at
question.
Starfire? Now, I know that I don't know if you started it or if it was just kind of an organic thing with the Stars. You could go down on the
Right.
field afterwards and hang out with the players. Is that going to be?
I would see that there was no reason to expect that to be any different. I haven't heard anything aside from the fact that the players will be available after the match, just like they were at Starfire, for autographs, etc.
Awesome.
Meet and greet,
So,
if you will. And I didn't start that. I
specifics-
didn't start that at the Stars. To be fair, that is
Okay.
that's something I think arena soccer, indoor soccer, has been like
MASL.
the MISL and all those leagues have
MISL,
all
that's
kind of
yeah.
always been about, which I think is really
Oh,
is cool.
it's
And,
really
like,
it's rad. It's a
If
great idea.
if
It's
only
pretty cool.
if only you could do that with every sport, right? I mean, obviously that's absolutely impossible at most
Pro.
major
Yeah.
levels, but I think it's good for the fans to have that connection, but also for the players to feel that love, especially if you're like a kid that's on his way up and feeling like, oh yeah,
Totally.
I've got something to I'm playing for these people. It's really cool.
Semi-related story is part of what Howard Schultz wanted to do when he bought the Sonics was to reawaken the Brooklyn Dodgers feeling, because when they were out there amongst the people all
Right.
the time. Now, that was in the 50s and the 60s before they moved to L.A.
Right.
And incomes for professional athletes were very different then.
Yes.
They're kind of like what minor league players have now.
Right.
Right. So they were at the deli and the corner market and everything, and he wanted the NBA players to do that. And the
Did not work
pushback
very well.
that he got is part of why he lost interest in the Sonics.
That's unfortunate.
It's one of the frustrations he had with he's like, how do you tell Gary Payton that you need to go to the corner store and just hang out with people?
It won't work.
When
I
he
once
makes
met Gary Payton and he
8
signed he
glove.
signed an autograph for me and took a picture with my other little friend and never once took his hand off of his massive cell phone in his hand.
On his
Just-
own?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
my
sure,
friend,
whatever, man.
my like neighbor has this picture of him
With the
next to
1980s.
Gary Payton who's like looking somewhere else on this gigantic cell phone.
Talking on Zach Morris'
It's
phone.
I
so
once made a
cool.
burrito for
Yeah.
Gary Payton.
so
Was he on a
It was like chicken and
gigantic
fajita
cell
burrito.
phone?
at the Stars S2 Rainiers type of level, that kind of engagement with fans is something that's very
It's important.
possible.
Yeah, it's very
And
cool.
It's
Very, very
vital.
cool. Yes.
So
Thank you, Slack questioner. No, that's a Twitter
Yeah.
questioner, listener.
Yeah,
That was a great
That
question,
was
too.
A Twits.
Angela-
I thought you were
listener,
going to
Twister.
ask.
That was Angela
I thought you were
Keller.
going to bring up that Howard Schultz wanted to make 75% on his investment of purchasing the Sonics, but
No,
you didn't go there.
I can
So,
tell a lot of stories about that, but
different discussion.
Yeah.
But that's the
Yeah.
Sonic Feed
Different
podcast.
yeah,
I love Sonic Feed.
Sonic
that one we'll have when we don't have a guest.
So
Sure.
Jake,
My NDA is run out on that, so.
Jake from
State Farm?
Des Moines, actual Des Moines,
Iowa?
That's what the
Iowa?
M stands for.
DM,
Yeah,
Des Moines.
Des Moines, Iowa, not Des Moines.
Then
Jake
from
from Des
here,
Moines.
I did not know
Okay,
that.
Des Moines.
now
Didn't
lives in
Yeah.
Toronto.
Sure.
Hugo.
I did
Sounders
not know that.
We
supporter,
traded him for
ECS
allocation money.
member, and so on, asks if you miss Perry and Shy Egg.
Perry, the penalty peanut, and Shy Egg. I mean, you have to think
You're
that
prefacing
for some,
this.
for
Did you have to
someone-
think about it?
No. Of course, I miss those mascots. Those were like little babies of mine. You know, I mean, you just don't make up a mascot and then spend days and days and days of your life thinking about like this character, and then watch them become semi-liked by a community.
Semi-liked.
Semi-liked by a community. I don't know.
There were easily 12
I'm not
people.
gonna go in and like toot Perry the penalty
You could
peanut.
just
That's
Or
a new
Sarah.
a new Third Eye Blind song, semi-liked by the community.
liked mascot life. No, but that's probably the one thing that I would miss most about Tacoma Stars is like those just outrageous mascots, and I
You
was
miss
the
wearing a
first thing
tux
that
and-
the first thing that a friend of mine who I won't name, but he's a very very passionate Sounder supporter. When he was like, he said, "Oh, okay, so you're going to be in charge of all the halftime stuff for the Sounders too." He's like, "You can't do all that weird mascot stuff, man. It won't work." And I looked at him and was like, "Okay, all right."
And you were
Hold
like,
my beer.
You were like
Okay.
Garth. You were like Garth. I know that you're the president of soccer, but I can do anything I want.
I
Don't
think that
believe
there
me,
is
just
room
watch.
for hijinks at halftime at Sounders FC 2 matches, and I'll tell you this because it's at Cheney Stadium, which is a
Rhubarb.
is a home
Rhubarb.
home for the surreal, and 2, most of the people are getting concessions anyways.
I will say, and I think this is maybe the difference that I actually hope to see at Cheney that people were fearful of at Starfire was you either love or hate minor league baseball.
Right.
And there's some fantastic things from a marketing perspective that are done. And on next week's episode, the boot.
No, but like you get
But there's something
Dude,
great
look at the
about
booth
it,
for every
and
special
I
guest
think
on.
that there's
all the
going to be
great
a time for it.
sports promos come out of minor
They
league
absolutely
baseball,
do.
really.
And I would even say some of the like fan interaction or just interesting things. Like I can tell you the trivia question I answered at the
should do a
Reading
luchador
Phillies
Right.
that I won like 10 Domino's pizzas for, and Wayne Gomes' roommate was like the guy at the pizza place that I got the pizzas from
Hi,
that night.
podcasting
And like
folks.
there's always something random that's
Well,
done.
Even the Flash that the Atlanta Braves started doing.
Yeah.
That
Oh, race the Flash.
yeah, you race basically the dude that was like a high school and collegiate track star around the
Hilarious.
and it's
So
awesome.
amazing.
And you know that grew out of one of their minor league
Dude, you
affiliates.
should do a
Right,
luchador
right.
night.
I will still pay. to
You
see
want to
mascots.
like
Yes.
wrestling?
Luchador night.
Actually,
Yes.
that will show out
Mexican
big.
wrestling night.
Mexican
Yeah.
wrestling night. I will say I love wrestling, and
then,
I
like the first few fans get a luchador mask, and then at halftime you have a luchador match. Oh, dude,
it's a short match, a very
Yeah,
short match.
Yeah, quick
I
one.
think that there's a balance, right? And I think that
There is.
I don't think the Rainiers go too deep into a lot of the like true single A, double A wackiness. That being said, if it's smart-ish and is fun, and it's like fun, and it's happening not during soccer action, and it gets a different type of people excited, what does that? What
Not during
what-
soccer action and excited. That's like a good combo.
Right, like at halftime, and it's just like super fun, and you can either sit there and tweet about it and laugh about it, or completely ignore it
Or
for
go to
10
the
minutes.
concession.
There's going to be a giant mechanical kraken that just grabs random people out of the stands.
And then throws them under the
You guys,
empty
you guys
pitcher
won some
mound.
awards last year,
Done.
didn't you?
At the Rainiers, yes.
Yeah, at the Rainiers.
Yes.
Like
Some marketing awards.
marketing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
Why did
business
you go
of the
Yes.
year.
Yeah, and our president was executive of the year. So I mean, we hope that
We have an
it-
understanding.
We
of the
hope that
community.
it will be. We hope that it'll be awesome. And I think I would like to get a little creative with halftime and see what it is. And I hope that people will look forward to that and be excited about that.
Did you do fun stuff during the All-Star game?
Constantly. Yeah.
Like, you had all of AAA baseball, all of minor league baseball,
Right.
basically focused on Cheney
and
Stadium.
did a lot of just zany, fun stuff.
Like what?
Like epic sax gorilla, like showering a lucky fan of the game with like a plunger, new boots, just air fresheners, just like raining gifts on this poor woman. Then I sang to her, stuff like that. You know?
I
So-
have a quick insider question.
Your-
Did you send an intern across the street to Fred Meyers to pick all of that stuff up right before the match, the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
The intern's name was Casey Catherwood.
Oh, please
there are
don't-
multiple
please don't
follow-up
bring him
questions.
up.
Multiple follow-ups. One was
Epic Sax Gorilla?
You know him?
Neighbors.
No,
You brought him to one Stars game, right?
I think so.
he's
Yeah.
not been here for a while.
Wow.
There's
Dude, you look like an evil
new
comic book
S2
character.
sponsor.
Is there any way we can
New
see?
S2 sponsor.
Is there any way we can see the audience right now? Is that a thing that's possible?
Nope.
No.
Okay,
What
I
kind
think
of show do you think this is?
evil fireman.
Evil fire, Steven.
Actually,
If you were really, 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 really hungry,
Uh-huh.
what would you eat first? Perry or shy egg? You guys are laughing now, but there's a follow-up to this one.
They both taste like
Chicken?
old sweaty cotton. I'll go with the egg.
So, would you have... would you choose to make shy egg easy, scrambled or poached, or pad thai
With shy egg.
Pad Thai cone Perry,
with Perry the peanut crumbled over the top?
poached shy egg, poached shy egg,
Go with poached.
poached shy egg. Thank you,
So,
thank you, questioner.
that was all us.
this
actually,
was like
this
10,
afternoon.
10 minutes of this afternoon on Slack. People, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's a really great question by Jake." And then I'm like, "Fuck no, we're asking this question instead."
The best part was I was sober when I posed that.
Well, that's fine.
Were you?
So,
Does it work?
so
still?
you've answered a number of the SonarFeed questions, and they've somewhat evolved. But to ask the
So let's get to the real,
ones,
the nitty
the
gritty,
real ones
the
right
real
now.
root and bone of it all.
Which historical figure that you admire would you go in a bouncy house with?
Oh. I would love to bounce around in a bouncy house with David Lynch. I think it would be a fascinating experience to sort of just watch his like
Did he
eyes roll
design
around.
the bouncy house too?
No, no. He did not design the bouncy house. He has to go in a normal like kids bouncy house, and to just watch David Lynch's like hair bouncing around and his eyes kind of rolling around and just being like, "Wow, this is something else." I would like that very much. That was pretty good, right? I
That
didn't
was a
practice
good
that at all.
answer. There's a lot of it's either like Abraham Lincoln or literally any other person in history.
I thought
No,
Lincoln
Ben
for a second,
Franklin's
but
been popular.
I would worry about his hat.
Well, that
You don't think he would
every
just leave it at
appendage
the-
would pierce the bouncy house.
Nobody wants
Like,
to see
he's so
Lincoln take his
angular.
hat off and get in the bouncy house.
He's so angular, the bouncy house probably doesn't survive.
Pops.
Yeah, like his elbow or shoulder.
It's all fun and games until
You
you
have a
pop
question?
bouncy house.
Yeah.
I would.
Dave, do you have
I
another
stand by
question?
my original
Oh,
answer.
from the updates from his last one, I'll go with mine.
Okay, sure. Go with yours.
When you play D&D, what D&D character do you play?
Like a tiny, tiny, tiny gnome. Is that a character I can be?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Like rogue, thief, like wizard, illusionist,
a small thieving gnome.
thieving garden gnome.
Is that no, not garden gnome? Just like are they all garden?
No.
Just gnome. That one. I will say I love when you do. I vote every time on your Twitter polls where we're making
Make a character?
I love that. I just the world building and just the interactive. I think that's wonderful. It's a smart thing that you're doing. It's a service.
Dave, I've got a follow-up sort of question. Last week, did you watch the whole episode last week? Did you hear Stephanie's answer to what D&D character would you be?
I missed that part.
Her answer was probably one of the better ones I've ever heard.
It was better than a thieving gnome.
It was Dave Clark. It was Dave Clark.
Tiny, teeny, tiny, thieving
It was Dave
gnome.
Clark.
She said Dave Clark.
She already made me cry in like the intro.
Ugo.
What was the last video game you played?
What was the last? I played Mario Kart, the new one on.
Did you say Mario? Is it Mario? Mario?
I played Mario Kart Infinity on
Mario Kart.
Nintendo Switch 8 Switch.
Like on the way here in the car.
Are you sure that was a Nintendo Switch?
Get this man another boot! Get this man another boot!
Mark, do you have a question?
I'm pretty certain I got smacked when I said Mario Kart when I was like in 5th grade. Hey, let's play Mario Kart. And my like Italian friend was like, the idiot you are!
But it actually sounded like when Ren and Stimpy get in a
starting to
slap fight. It
squirm.
was like that noise is what was happening. All right, so if
Mario Kart. I played the new Mario Kart.
I shouldn't make fun of how people say things because.
Anyways,
all right,
great
so
to be here.
if you were
Thank you.
if you were on Death Row Records,
Yes.
what would your first meal be after you signed your contract?
He only asked because you're so hood.
Poached shy egg. Yep, poached shy egg. My first meal after signing my contract on Death Row Records.
Yes.
Pad Thai Cornberry.
He's going big, dude. Big.
I'm gonna get a nice, fine cut, teeny tiny
Gnome.
teeny tiny little steak and a big boot.
One of us.
Speaking.
A big boot of Bitburger.
One of us, for
Like,
sure.
literally
One of us,
every
for
question we ask, he's like, I have exactly the answer you don't see coming. Mario Kart.
I have
Speaking of
Mario's
Death Row
answer.
Records and
Just for
that
you.
era of rap, one of our mutuals on Twitter was talking about Boys in the Hood recently, and I listened to the Eazy-E song "Boys in the Hood," and
If you come
I
talking that
imagine
trash,
that
pull
coming out
your card.
now and the riots that would start
It's
because
a
that
wild
song
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That would be
Is-
nuts.
Dude, I remember.
so
It did cause
foul.
riots. Anyways,
Pretty close to.
it did cause riots in a lot of
Tipper
ways.
Gore would be super upset were that song to
Tipper
come out
Gore
right
still
now.
alive?
There's like one generation,
I'm gonna go with yes,
but he's not.
but that's
certain.
only because I
You
have
know that her
I
husband
have
invented
Tipper
the
Gore in a
internet?
Deadpool, so I haven't won yet.
Oh, that's a good question.
What's
Who are
that?
your top 3 in your Deadpool?
My death pool?
Yeah, who are your top 3? Or do you even have a Deadpool?
I don't have one.
Oh.
I
Who do you think? Let's add one right now.
What does that mean?
Yeah, explain.
Deadpool is
The movie. I've seen the
no,
movie.
no.
I was sleepy when I
The
saw
Deadpool is basically you and your friends bet on who's gonna die first.
Which
it.
celebrity?
Which
Which
celebrity?
celebrity?
do I think will
Celebrity
die
deaths.
next?
Right.
That's a horrible thing to
Yeah, it's
put out
brutal.
in the world.
You probably shouldn't answer this. Tom will answer.
Let this question ride.
Right. Yeah.
But we're gonna ask every next guest.
I mean, doesn't it seem like Betty White has already died?
Ooh, that's not good money. That's
No.
bad money. That's
She
bad
has
money.
not.
She's.
No.
I mean,
She's not.
I mean,
She's
I mean, like,
A, literally older than sliced bread, and
George
B, going
Herbert
to
Walker?
outlive
I mean,
all of us.
Herbert Walker, probably. Herbert Walker's got to be on the
Wow,
way.
H-dub.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, okay.
Queen?
We won't even go.
Can I
into
give you?
Push one.
Can I give you an assist? James Woods.
I haven't.
When was
thought
the
about
last
it
time you
in a while.
saw him in anything? And he
I see
still
him on
thinks he's
Twitter
relevant.
all the time, and he is really angry.
That's a bot.
Okay, what about this?
He's
Who
not
do you
real,
think is
that's
gonna
a bot.
Go first, Ric Flair,
That's
or Hulk
upsetting.
Oh, Flair.
'Cause it's funny.
Flair was just like in a coma.
Yeah, but
He'll-
dude, he's
he-
resilient though. Oh my god, that is the best. So me and my buddies at tailgate, when we tailgate for the other football, we literally, before we start the walk to the stadium, we hit each other with a
Woo.
But it's a good.
Keep telling your story.
It's great.
That's
It's
your story?
Probably cascades.
Oh,
forward,
it does,
too,
dude.
right?
Oh, it does. Because we're sitting in the stadium, so there's like 4 of us, and like, woo, woo, woo.
Yes, Tom.
Actually, let's do that.
When does the question start?
I'm the styling, profiling, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, son of a gun. Woo!
Wow!
Took me a while to find that, but
Love that. Yes.
Wow.
Literally all
Is this
questions
how
I
this
asked
ends?
after
I
that.
actually
Is this how
just
this
faded to
ends?
black and cut
I mean,
the
it's not
stream.
supposed to, but you're gonna play the laugh track just like 10 minutes.
It's on.
Probably haven't asked all these questions. Did you get asked what advice you would give a former self of yours?
Self?
Yours?
Oh,
Yourself?
Like yourself?
10 years ago.
How about 2008 Casey Catherwood? What
Yeah.
advice would you give yourself?
How was high school back then?
Oh man, I would tell that little skinny guy to
Eat more.
Don't pick the gnome.
to kind of just stay in the middle, right? Like I think that kids
Stay
just
in your
to
lane,
kind
son.
of get all the way really worked up about one thing, or really down, or really excited. And at that age, 10 years ago, yeah, I mean at that age, there's just nothing is certain.
Why are you
And-
talking about my Twitter account?
Is that what you talk about? To just kind of stay balanced and just do what feels right and just keep moving your wheels. And Bitcoin. Probably Bitcoin. Sorry, that was a serious answer. Not funny. The answer, like some cryptocurrency thing. I probably would just say cryptocurrency. Invent cryptocurrency, little
Literally
Casey.
take $10 and put it in Bitcoin, and you are good.
Yeah.
I bought $10 worth of tulips and they're worth jack right now.
Tulips are actually the vegan
Vegan Bitcoin.
cryptocurrency. Mark is like so far ahead of his time, and he doesn't even know it down there.
Sorry, we
I
were
think I have him muted.
So like normal.
we were having a discussion over here about why it's
Off
just
mic.
Tide Pods. What about the dishwashing detergent pods?
No one knows.
Why
So-
eat chemicals?
So Casey,
Why
crazy.
stop
Casey,
eating
when
chemicals?
you
The
are
more
getting
you talk
when
about
you are
this,
getting
the more
hype,
idiots do it.
when you are getting hype for the dozens
It's
and
called
dozens
natural
of
selection.
games and matches that you attend, professionally or otherwise, what's on your pre-match playlist?
Oh,
Your
what's that
personal
song? What's that
pre-match
song that's,
playlist.
He's going for the assist.
You went to the audience,
What
and the
music did- what
audience
music did you
literally
listen to
shunned
before a
you.
Oh, I love, and it's so sad, but like, I guess it's not sad. Like, just very, very, sort of like teenage rap music for those moments. Like, I'll go to like Young Thug. I'll go to like some of the more like hyped up Drake tunes. Like,
This
I
gets
would've-
funnier because I know it's true the way that she's reacting.
I would have guessed. Like,
yeah.
I would have guessed like Dashboard Confessional.
Yeah, well, that's post match is sort of like go to the emo track to kind of wind down. You know what? I listen to a lot. I will say I listen to a lot of music. Sometimes it's jazz.
What we
Sometimes
listen to on the way here?
We listen to the sound of my girlfriend and I talking to our grandma
Nice.
for 40 minutes.
What are your thoughts on
Whose
Hamilton?
grandma? Your grandma or
On
her
Hamilton,
grandma?
the musical,
Yeah.
love.
What are your thoughts on Gambino?
Childish
Childish
Gambino.
Gambino.
I'm
Do you hear
excited to
it? Me
see
too.
his performance at
Troy and
the
Abed
Grammys.
in the morning.
I'm excited about
Do you hear about his new CD? He's gonna come out. He just signed a new.
I heard he signed a record deal
Yeah,
today.
yeah, today.
But does that mean new music soon? I hope.
Right.
What do you think is going to be better, the second season of Atlanta or him as Lando Calrissian?
Oh, definitely
Him as
Atlanta.
Lando.
Definitely
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta's an
Atlanta,
amazing,
right?
an amazing.
It's so
show.
good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And the new Star Wars movies, I think,
12
are
people
good.
watch
I think
Atlanta.
they're great. I think they are going to hit some sort of wall here. And the whole delay on a trailer for that Han Solo movie
It's
is
like comes
making
out
me
in
a little
May.
nervous.
Like, normally
It's
on a
making
Star
me a
Wars
little
movie,
nervous.
What's
At this point in time on a normal Star Wars movie, you would have had like 3 teasers and 2 trailers.
It makes me
And we've
pause
had
a little
like
bit.
one Ron Howard still photo.
Yeah.
what was the last Netflix series you watched?
We just finished American Vandal. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my! Has anybody seen American Vandal?
American Vandal-
It is the dumbest, most
Megan, of course.
insanely genius thing I've ever watched.
Kirsten.
It is. Okay, so the
Stealing cars or something?
drawing genitals on cars, and it's only about that, and it is so detailed and so smartly written. It's very brilliant, and I would advise any. How many
American
listeners do we
Vandal.
have now? 14.
Maybe 10?
We have 14 people watching.
14?
Currently.
Yeah.
14
You
or
the
4?
real MVPs. You the real MVP.
Did you say 14?
Yeah.
I love you. 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 I love you.
You guys are the real life MVPs.
I love you, obviously. Please watch American Vandal. It's really funny.
What is the last podcast you listened to that's not SonarFeed?
Flounders B Team.
And what is the last non-soccer podcast?
Lay it up. Dunk it home.
The last, what's the one about how things work,
No,
how
Saudius?
it works?
Stuff you should know.
Stuff you should know. Is that the one where they kind of?
That's one of them.
It was like about like an egg factory. I think it was like egg
Shy
podcast.
egg.
Egg podcast. Yeah, it's probably Shy Egg podcast.
How to poach shy egg.
Has anybody seen
Volume
Shy Egg?
1.
And like, I haven't.
I don't.
The star is still there, right? The star mascot.
You never see shy egg.
Abraham Lincoln not
Let that
there?
one go.
Because I remember you brought Abraham Lincoln to it.
Dancing Abraham Lincoln.
Dancing Abe League.
Yeah.
All right,
like,
so I.
does that fly at Sounders 2 match? Probably not. But
Dancing
Dude,
Abe
the
Lincoln?
Abes are very popular in
that's
Tacoma.
true.
Why not?
Any-
All right, so I've got a question
Yeah.
No.
that I was wanting to ask you earlier.
Okay.
When
So
we were
it's not a
serious,
normal. Yeah, this is sort of a serious side, but I'm really curious about this.
paying
Okay.
attention.
You have done Stars, and then when Stars wrapped up, you did Rainier's, and then when Rainier's wrapped up, you went to Stars. So you had this kind of full season. Now you're going to have 2 at once.
2 at once.
How have you prepared yourself
Oh
for
shit!
that?
Sorry.
Eating really, really
Not sorry.
lean
2
and clean.
cases, 1 stadium.
Trying to stretch. Working out. 2 Casey's, 1 stadium.
That's a hashtag.
You know, I'll actually answer, and it's pretty simple. My sort of
The live studio
Go
audience.
Don't waste the good ones. Don't waste the good ones. I'm taking those home.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
If you're watching online, the live studio audience has
Okay, Casey,
I,
answer the question. Let's go.
I've decided to just work smarter. So, learning from things I've already done, and kind of finding the shortest point from A to B is not something I've done in my first couple years in sports. I'm always like so invested, so cerebral, and sometimes it's like there's no point in being that way.
Overthinking it. Yeah.
So just going point A to point B fast. I'll spend some time at. I'm doing a lot at once, is what I'll say, and I'll just keep
Right.
doing it.
Yeah. So do you plan on once the season's done? Do you just get to hibernate for a little while?
no.
No, not really, but I'll try to. I haven't been on vacation in like so long, and I think that I'm gonna plan a vacation for November and just look forward to it.
Where are you taking
Hold
me?
him to that.
I would like
Not
to take
him.
you to
Ignore Mark.
to the
you hold him to that.
to the sunshine. I'd like to take Mark to the sunshine.
Perfect.
I I have a serious question because I get asked this a lot from people who think that writing on the internet actually makes people money and is a full-time profession, unfortunately. But
This is
what?
news to me.
Like, you're actually a full-time professional.
Yes.
Did you major in sports marketing?
No.
What was your major that got you ready to be?
I wanted to be an English teacher, and I wrote in college.
So that's why I got.
That book is going to really, really make you happy, I think. I hope you really like it. Kurt Vonnegut, Breakfast of Champions. I'm sure some of our listeners have read it.
Anybody?
I
out
wanted
there?
to write, and I wrote, and then I started playing music. Then I started working in record stores. Then I started writing small plays for my friends to put on, and started painting and doing art stuff. And I think that little whirlwind of brain, I think I just have kind of a unique brain that I don't think that you could teach very many people in a college. And so I didn't ever know that I would end up in sports or marketing. But I was always marketing myself and all those things. So come to this small play that we're performing in a room twice, or half the size of this porch, and it. Thank heavens that the Rainiers gave me a shot, because I think that they would say that it's paid dividends for them, and it's definitely given me my life. That that I found my calling through a chance coincidence, sort of.
Awesome. That kind of fits with. I know a lot of people who've worked full time in sports, like working in sports radio for. I mean, it was a long time ago, for 3 years, and I know a bunch of people that are still active in it, and some of them have like sports broadcasting degrees,
Right.
and others are like, "Oh, I was a sociology major."
Right, and I just kind of ended up here as the most qualified.
I was
person.
a creative writer.
Right. I do a lot of writing in my job, and I think that that's probably my strongest thing that I can do, is just like, you tell me to write about the why should people come to this soccer in Tacoma, and you've never even heard. Maybe like there are people in Tacoma that have never heard of the Sounders. Like that's a thing that could be possible.
It's a frighteningly large thing. Like,
And so-
I know the Sounders demo, unlike most of their major sports, the Sounders demo is like 80% live in the Seattle city
Right.
limits, and Mariners less than 50 live in King County. So when you say a person in Tacoma doesn't know of the Sounders, like our audience doesn't think that's possible, but
It's possible.
It's very real. So you have to pitch soccer to a community that
From me, who I would consider myself a writer, to a writer I greatly respect. I think that it takes almost like some kind of courage to just take a topic and then write 1,000 words about it. And that's not something that everybody can do. Like to just like take an idea, like we're going to just write about this chicken bone, this oily eaten chicken bone. And if I had to write 500 words about it, and you told me, okay, there's a computer over there, write 500 words about it, I could write 500 words that like you could at least get through. Like you could sit down and read it. And I think that that's a strange thing to be able to do. And it's something that I can do, and I know you can do it. But that's I think that the writing ability is the big thing. And that was tangential, and
No, man, that's great.
I just hoisted
That's awesome.
a chicken bone at
We
the
love
camera.
that.
What does that word mean?
I mean, I
Chicken
literally
bone?
No.
Tangential, isn't that a word where it's just like
He went to Washington State.
I went to Wazoo.
Jason?
I went-
Yeah.
I went to Wazoo. You gotta drop pictures. And
the most complex word he
That's
knows
why I'm taking you
is
to the sun.
Palouse.
Palouse? I gotta say, Palouse is a pretty legit.
How
word.
many viewers
Guys,
did
words
we
go.
how many viewers did we lose with the chicken bone? Just one.
Just one.
Peace.
I will say
for the
though,
record-
as someone who understands most Spanish and can write a decent amount,
He does. I vouch for him.
if you did that in Spanish, it would be so much easier because there's like 97 words per 3 English words.
Right?
Wait, you mean
How
writing
many
about
words
a
are there for chicken bone?
No,
would
but
be
for
easier
anything,
in
basically like
Spanish?
three
wrong
English
damn
words.
languages.
Huesito.
Yeah, you did. No, you didn't.
There were probably 15 words
I did.
for chicken bone, depending on what state you're in.
Did you know that Casey ate the bones?
I ate the bones.
He's amazing.
Hashtag I
forget-
ate the bones.
Before I forget,
It's why Spanish
there's a
looks
great,
beautiful.
Podcast on tacos in Tacoma, but what is your favorite taco spot in Tacoma?
There's a little truck by my house that's really good, but there's another really
What's it called first before you go on?
taco.
It's the
trucky-
taco
Is it the
truck
one
to
on
his
Ninth?
house.
Is it the one on 9th?
People
Casey,
don't know their
find
the address and
taco
tweet it
truck,
out
like
later.
what it's called.
It's on.
They know it
it's
by the
on
taco
12th.
truck on that
It's on-
road.
Yes,
It's on
Trace Hermanos.
Trace Hermanos.
Tres Hermanos.
Did
Yeah,
you
that's
say
okay.
That's
Trace
okay. I would- I mean,
Hermanos?
I could tell you that like there's good taco. What's so funny?
Trace Hermanos.
You want me to
not
try
something-
to
You
it's not
say
something I said.
Hermanos in
you want me
real
to try to
life?
say
Do you
happy
just
birthday again?
stop?
Okay, what's the other spot you're about to talk about?
There's like actual restaurants that are pretty good. There was another spot that I don't know the name, and I think it was something Taco Magico. No, not El Toro.
Mexico?
You're not talking about
El Toro was shut down by the health inspector.
You're not talking about Mexico down on Broadway, are you?
No.
Okay.
There's a. I will get you the answer.
That works.
But Trace Hermanos is good, real
Okay.
good. And I like eating in a parking lot. You know, like
No question. Those are some of the best tacos.
there's something
Those are
about
some of the
eating.
best
There's like
tacos.
something about eating out in a parking lot in the
Romantic.
rain. That, like,
I didn't
does it
realize
for
that
me.
you lived that
It's
close
romantic.
because I would say that that's next to my house too. So we must be neighbors.
Sounds like we should meet in the middle.
Where?
At
Trace Hermanos.
Trace Hermanos.
Yeah.
At Trace Hermanos taco truck.
Several Tacoma people not on microphone have already decided where they're having. Yeah, Steve. I'm.
We're
There
having
are
lunch at
people
Trace
who
Hermanos
listen
tomorrow.
who don't know what you're doing, so I'm trying to relay that.
So it feels really
Creepy
awful
fire
to
guy.
basically ask any other question at this point.
That's fine.
But I have at least one more.
Okay.
And
Thank you,
it's,
Tom.
If you were to do karaoke, what is your go-to karaoke song?
So I do karaoke like I used to do karaoke like it was a religion, like every
It
single weekend.
actually is a religion.
So can I list a few songs that are
You
like
can list-
I will-
Your lineup.
that I could murder like at a drop of a
You
hat?
can be like a 80s
I verified this is all
mail
true,
order
'cause-
CD commercial and just have Air Supply reading the tracks as they go up the screen. Adam will get that in post.
Okay.
So whatever song you do.
My best song is by far "Take Me to the River" by the Talking Heads. I mean, it's a cover, but
Wow.
I do "Take Me to the River" by the Talking Heads,
Ooh.
and that's like you want to that's probably the way that the night ends right there.
Like
can we play it,
previous-
madam? Adam, can you
Previous
play-
people
No.
had really good options. You've just made all of their options like a 2.
Well, "Take Me to the River" by it's the Talking Heads version. I have done. It's not who's the original? It's Marvin Gaye, Otis
Yes.
Redding, Marvin Gaye.
No.
Does anybody have a supercomputer in their hands?
The Talking Heads version is better for me because it's quicker.
Oh,
It's
in
quicker
front of
and
them.
it's weirder. Yeah, it's quicker and it's weirder. And I love doing that. Is that where this ends?
All right, no, keep
No.
going. That was only
Oh, okay. I love doing "You May Be Right" by Billy Joel. I also have been known to do another Billy Joel tune, which is
Big Shot.
no, not Big Shot. "My Life" by Billy Joel. I'll do
La
that.
Bamba?
My
sometimes.
life is good.
La Bamba?
The Bosom Buddies.
I do La
Theme
Bamba
song?
with a friend of mine, only with a friend of mine. And the last, I shouldn't say this because I'm representing my job, but I was asked to leave a karaoke bar because my friend, and this wasn't even that long ago, which is embarrassing. My friend and I, who do La Bamba often, who's the friend that I said I shouldn't do crazy mascots at Sounders matches, Sounders 2 matches.
He has a lot of bad ideas.
We agreed we would take our shirts off
Oh,
at
no.
one part of La Bamba. Okay?
Wait, hold on.
We
Wait.
agreed.
We agreed.
We agreed.
I'm
and
so
I was
glad
like,
I
I
brought
don't
this
take
up.
my shirt off at places, but he was like, we got to do it. We got to do it.
I have a
So
feeling
at
I
the
know
part
who this
we agreed
is.
upon, of course, I take my shirt off, and I look back, and his shirt is completely on. And I was like,
Got hung out to
"Oh,
dry."
Great. This is, you just foisted this on me. And the bartender was just like, hey, it's time for you to not be here. And I was like, okay, cool. This was like maybe I'd had, half a boot. So I wasn't like in any place where I couldn't like be like, okay, that's fine. See you later.
Does his name
But-
happen to be Patrick?
I don't want to say.
That's for the after show. By
Enough
the way,
said.
Al Green.
Al Green,
Oh,
Take Me to the
yeah,
River.
of
And
course
it's so
it's Al
good. It's so,
Green.
so good. So I shouldn't have told that
What,
story.
what
but-
instruments?
No, that
do
was
you play?
money. That's a
what
great
instruments do I
story.
play?
Yeah.
I play guitar,
I gotta use
bass,
that.
drums,
It's a good story.
Somehow.
What did you
Keyboard.
play
Good
in high
story.
school?
and what's that?
But in high school, did you?
I played mostly drums and piano in high school.
Okay.
Like
Cool.
keyboards.
Any questions from the audience at home?
Any questions for the audience or for us? Any asks? Any?
you want us
What,
to
what do you
do?
want us to do?
Oh, do I ask them questions?
What do you do?
Then-
What can we?
Give
no,
us.
You
give
could
us.
ask
You
them
could.
questions.
You have the mic.
But you have the
Berliner,
mic.
are you with me? No, I don't know. I don't know. Does anybody have a question?
Are there Dippin' Dots at Cheney Stadium?
Yes.
Are there Dippin'
There
Dots?
Yes.
are, in
At-
fact, Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots.
Blue
Blue
ices.
ices. I've never seen blue ices.
Did you
I
not go to
haven't seen blue
Kmart on
ices.
6 before it closed? They
Slushies, Hawaiian ice, that kind of stuff. Slushy Hawaiian ice.
I
shaped
know what a
ice.
blue icy is.
But you haven't seen one?
Is Perry ever going to visit Cheney
I
Stadium?
don't think so.
We were asked that.
No, that's fine. I don't think so. I
No,
don't.
but is there like an
Sarah-
ask too for us, like as fans or anything? Like you mentioned earlier, give me feedback about what you guys want as
Right.
supporters,
What do you
as
want
fans.
from us?
What do you want from
I
us
want
or
a
to
lot-
share
I
with our
want
friends?
A lot of, I want there to be a lot of support and excitement for this because I think it's something that's really, really special for soccer in Washington State. And I think that all good things that happen for Sounders 2 are good things that happen for the first team. And it is a cycle and a cyclone of love. And I'm asking you all and people listening and people that will listen in the future to be with us at our first night, March 16th at Cheney Stadium. It's against Timbers too, so it's not like there's a lack of incentive to send Portland home sad.
Crying.
And let's
That's
do this
easy.
thing. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Actually, I'll go and ask it anyway. What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge in this upcoming year for not only you but for the S2 and Rainier's organization?
I think it'll be sustaining momentum because I think opening night will be really, really great. And then as most things happen, and from experience with other projects, I know that like you have that opening night thing, but then it's not June and July anymore, and it's cold and it's rainy, and it's maybe like you don't have sort of the incentive to go sit outside at in Tacoma, and so I think that will be to get through April and May, and then get into summer because I think it's going to be really pop. I think that those Sounders 2 matches are going to be really popping in summer.
June, July, August.
Yeah, it's gonna because it's. I mean, why wouldn't you go? It's super nice out.
The
And
mountain.
Mount Rainier.
yeah, it's Cheney Stadium is a wonderful place to spend a hot night.
What time is that game on the
What time-
16th?
Yeah.
I want to say it's 7:05, maybe 6:05, but we will have that
Between
out on
6:05
our.
and
We'll have that out officially. We'll have those times officially before the week.
Will you be wearing a bow tie?
Yes.
Okay, because that's pretty much what's
That's
predicated
your-
on me going
SOP,
down or not.
SOP, standard operating procedure.
Yes.
How important is appealing to the South Sound? Like, if you had to choose to appealing to soccer fans or appealing to the South Sound?
Yes.
I think that we
Is this a real question?
yeah. Well, I think it's a great question. I
The
think that-
Tacoma Rainiers don't just do baseball fans. They identify
Right.
with Tacoma.
And that's a huge thing, and I think that you will find that a lot, not a lot, and I would hope that everyone at a Sounders 2 match is ready to rock and be present in the match, and but I think that you will find that we do appeal to a casual sports fan, and there will be parts of the stadium that will be full of people that are there to be there and engage in a sort of experience, and we've become quite successful on that at Rainier's games, and it will be interesting to see what the blend is, right? Because this is not. There's a certain level of we're here for the experience at Rainier's games, but these matches are actually very, very important at the USL level, and there's like trophies and all of that. And I'm not taking anything away from the Pacific Coast League, but I think we're appealing to to both, I guess, is really where I'm at with that. Because South Sound, yes, we want families and casual soccer fans to be there, but we also want
Soccer
diehard Sounders fans to be there.
You looked at the roster came out today.
Yes.
10 guys that represent your community and the future of the Seattle Sounders FC. It's hard to name one, but a couple of those, what do you see about just a couple of those players? Like, why should people listening or watching us come to see those guys?
Well, I think you've got players that have been drafted by the team and they've invested valuable resources into them, but also young guys, like you think of someone like Nuhu, who actually played on S2 and is now a contributor to the Sounders. And you've got the first team, and you've got young players on that roster that are going to be there in case there are injuries or needs. And I think that there really are a few guys on that roster that are young and the future of the core of the team that you'll be rooting for at CenturyLink. Like, there's definitely a lot of promise there. And all I've heard from the organization is that they are starting to look at this second team in a different way than they may have looked at it in the past. Does that make sense?
No, that's
like there's a sort of a rededication to.
They brought 9 guys back. Last year they brought 1.
Yeah, that.
The year before they brought 1. The year before that they brought 0.
And now there's 9 returning faces.
9 returning faces. Several of them are from the academy. I think it's 4 of the 5 direct to USL signings returned.
Mm-hmm.
That's Shannon Hopiau, David Olson, Ezreal Gonzalez, and Sam Rogers. They're all back. And, I mean, Ezreal Gonzalez is still a high school student.
It's crazy.
And he's a professional athlete at this point. And I've heard we might get 1 to 3 more of those playing for S2 that are just skipping the whole college thing, because they're going to play in Tacoma and train with the first team a couple days a week and play with Tacoma on Wednesdays.
Yep.
Train with the first team, recover, train with S2. Like, the development of how this relationship works has advanced so much.
Yeah.
And for people listening or watching, like, Rio Grande Valley and Reno kind of broke the ground. If there's one thing that Adrian Hanauer is good at, he's not really a cutting edge of technology kind of guy. He likes to do that one step. He's a very much, like, if you look at his investment portfolios, he's an early adopter. So he isn't going to push that edge. Like, if Rio Grande didn't work, he didn't want to be that.
Right.
But now this S2 Tacoma thing, he's like, oh, it's working in a couple other places? We're going all in.
Yep.
And
I think it'll be a great decision.
The players that they have, and like Sam Rogers has like 3 years in the academy, 1 year professional. When he signs an MLS deal, he'll have played in the academy at Starfire. He'll play USL at Starfire. He'll play USL in Cheney Stadium, and then he'll be at CenturyLink Field.
Right.
And I know from going there, looking at the Rainier's history, like, you look at what the Tacoma Giants were. Mark McGuire played. Mark McGuire.
That guy was decent.
He played at Cheney Stadium as a Tacoma
He played at
Tiger.
Cheney Stadium as a Tacoma Tiger. You look at the Tacoma Giants history. You look at the Tacoma Tigers history. It's an organization and a legacy, and it's a great community to put an organization like this into.
And the future of that organization.
Yeah, it to me, it, like, you look at a way to both expand the Seattle Sounders brand and capture kind of what's been a developmental territory for baseball, and a guy that knows a little bit about marketing.
I'm really excited, and I'm glad that you feel that way, Dave. That means a lot, and I'm sure that your opinion carries weight with a lot of people that maybe don't know how to feel about it. So I hope between you and I and the support of of these guys down here and the support of everyone out in this room, we can really make something special. I know we can.
All right. So we're running a little late. We got to wrap up. But there's one question. There's actually two things I want to end with. First, there's a question, which is, do you still have the Seagull jacket?
No, I lost it.
You lost it.
The seagull
Yeah, I
jacket.
lost it.
That's sad.
I lost it.
That's very sad.
Oh, I've got to tell you a story
and then
about seagulls later.
the second
By the way,
question.
it was also pointed out that it was so fly,
Yes, it was
For a white
so
guy?
fly.
and it was unintentional.
The pun.
What is it? So what is so fly for a white guy?
No, the Seagull jacket was fly.
Oh, the jacket was so fly for a white
was
guy.
fly.
Thank you, whoever said that.
Emily R. Cummings. Yes. The next question.
She says sadness.
Not so much a question. There's kind of been a wombat theme going on online.
Yeah, what is the wombat thing?
No one knows.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Encourage you to look up information about the wombat poo. It's good to know.
Wombat poo?
Like physical feces?
Yeah, it's square.
Wombat
Okay.
feces?
It's cube.
Apparently cubes.
Okay.
cube-like.
Thank
So-
you.
Anyways,
Thank you.
Just something to encourage you in your
Yeah, no, that's
FYI.
like
in your
I-
evening.
yeah, no, that's
Definitely
wonderful. I
didn't-
will look at that when I sleep tonight.
we
Thank you
still
so
live?
much for the suggestion.
That was Sarah.
We
McNally.
are still live.
All right.
So we appreciate you coming
Seriously,
Thank you
cool
so
show.
much, Tom.
tonight. So thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks to the house. Thanks to Berliner. Thanks to Casey's girlfriend for being like, what the fuck are we doing? Third and Main.
Ahead of the curve. Yeah, we did it wrong, but
Cool.
it's late in the show.
We
What time
survived.
is it?
Yeah.
What time is it? 10:30.
It's
Barely past
about 1
9.
a.m.
The sun's about to come up.
Feels like 100 o'clock.
It's like an If you don't finish the boot,
Adam,
it's-
Can I finish the boot live?
Adam, that, Adam,
Is
that
that
feels
possible?
like 100 o'clock needs to be a drop from now on.
Turn it.
Oh, it won't. No more bubbles.
boot down. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks to the Berliner. Thanks to Casey.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks to Adam for putting up with our shit. Have a good night, everybody.
That's it. Thank you. We're done.